if nothing freezes. There we go. Hello and welcome to the Astropub, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Paul Berserkro1, Batman Shelley. I am your humble host and space bartender here at the Astropub, and tonight I bring you the Captain's Table, the Star Citizen podcast where I bring people from all over the Star Citizen universe, content creators, streamers, YouTubers, prop makers, lore writers, drunkards, vagabonds, hooligans, maybe even Papa Dovac every once in a while if we have to. He's like a dog. You can't just he's like a sad puppy. You can't leave him outside in the rain. Sometimes you have to bring him in because Anyways, so all these fine people are folks who you'll see around the Star Citizen community, and we'll start going straight down with the man, the myth, the legend, the one who shall save us all from the coming darkness, Meyer_test.
No pressure.
Hey.
Who are you? Where did they find you?
I was like, the who? The what? My name is Meyer. You can find me on twitch.tv/Meyer_test. I am a primarily Star Citizen streamer. However, I do stream a variety of other games like For Honor and stuff like that. That's pretty much all there is to me. You can also find me on Twitter at twitter.com/Meyer_test or on youtube.com/Meyer.
Awesome. And you should call him because Fortnightly Frontier is awesome, as well as his regular streams are awesome.
And I keep forgetting to plug that, so thank
you. Then we have the man who is spoken about in hushed whispers and is often confused for a CIG dev. No shit. Here on this on this captain's table, he has been confused for a CIG dev when he wasn't on the table. When he wasn't even on the table, he was confused for a CIG dev. Yeah, someone asked a question like, "Who is this Matt?" And when did he? And does he still work for CIG? Because this work is fantastic. I'm like, that's true.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who are you? What do you do in the Star Citizen community? All that kind of stuff.
Well, me and Ath were the head of a CIG Australia, and basically I create some CryEngine content. I work with a team called Little Arms, and we're working on a series called Combined Arms. And yeah, that's all there is to me.
Awesome. And then we have the other bartender on Twitch, the man who needs no introduction.
Because he's upside down. Hi, I'm Farasalt. I'm another Australian streamer. I stream Star Citizen at least 4 days a week. Yeah, you can find me at twitch.tv/Farasalt. I'm also on Twitter as Farasalt. And yeah, I'm basically just here having fun, derping around, hanging out, and drinking scotch. So,
Scotch is always good.
Mm.
Ooh. And lastly, but not leastly, we have the rising star, the man who's come in onto town with a white steed and black hat.
It's Alan Tudjuk.
Grit Spitter. So who are you? What do you do? Great, all that kind of stuff.
Very similar to Farasalt. I am another primarily Star Citizen Twitch streamer over at twitch.tv/GritSpitter. 2 T's. Yeah, pretty much doing that 5 days a week, and also on Twitter under GritSpitter. Just like talking Star Citizen, playing Star Citizen, and playing a couple other games every once in a while, whatever people feel like getting in on. So that's about it, yeah.
Awesome. Those are all the links to all their wonderful things. C-Dizzle was going to be with us, but literally while we were setting everything up, Comcast showed up to his house and said, "We're here to fix your internet." So he's maybe get some F's in chat for you guys and who are watching this live. And if you're watching this on YouTube, I fucking listened to you finally and started the recording right when we started rather than having to watch the whole goddamn intro. So you're welcome. Fuck off.
Nice.
Were you reading YouTube comments again? You know you shouldn't.
I know I shouldn't read YouTube comments, but come on. For those of you guys who are brand new, who are just watching us here, all of these guys are actually veterans of the cable, so they know what we do. We are just going to talk about Star Citizen. We're going to go wherever the hell the conversation may lead. And to put a caveat, we don't know shit. Like, none of us here know anything about the game other than what we experience. So when it comes down to, like, we don't have insider knowledge, we don't know special things, we're not special human beings. Though Fair Assault's special. Fair Assault's a little special. He's very special. Very
And
special.
Terrellian works for CIG. So.
Yeah, Trellian is apparently a CIG dev. So, or used to work for CIG.
Wait.
Yeah.
We cannot talk about the Banner Merchantman, but everything else is free game. Everything else is fine.
What
I'm just-
about
I'm just-
Gingerbeard? Is Gingerbeard a free game?
Ginger beer? Yes.
Yes,
Ginger beer is
just
always
this once.
I'm gonna start calling
I
you
don't
an
know.
Athogen CIG Australia. That's what I'm start calling
Do
you.
it. That's what we're gonna do.
The other member of CIG Australia. But
Yes, I hope he's working.
he probably is. He's probably got a massive hangover. Him and Diabolus and Fair Assault were all drinking at Pub Citizen. So how was the Bar Citizen event, Fair Assault? Let's start off with that.
Yeah, Terrellian. How was Pub Citizen? Didn't you go to that?
Soon, TM, when it arrives here.
No,
It doesn't need to fly.
Bar Citizen, or as he insists on calling it, Pub Citizen here in Australia. With a lot of fun. We had a bunch of content creators down here. We had Athogen, Goku. Also got to hang out with Mr. Combustible himself, which is always finding board along his helmets, and a bunch of 3D
He
printed
was in
stuff.
Sydney.
Yeah, he was.
Missed out.
Yeah.
Damn, you better come to Adelaide.
Yeah, those are not patches. Those are 3D printed plastic like sculptures. Like,
Yeah. Which are going to go on the side of my PC case in the near future.
Oh, the swag.
You know, the standard CIG swag, Big Benny's temporary tattoos, Squadron 42 stickers, because we actually got Cameron Wilkie from CIG in the UK down. He is I think his title is marketing director or something. Oh,
he's a
marketing
special events. He's the marketing
they're-
director for special events. So, like, he's in charge. Like, I've talked with him about future. Wilkie probably has watched me before because I've ranted and raved about how they need to do more things and make CitizenCon longer because it's like a BlizzCon level at this point, anyways. But he came up to me last CitizenCon's like, we want to talk to you about like what do you want to see in the next CitizenCon. I'm like, okay, cool. Let's talk about this in the future. So he's very open to the community and takes a lot of input and that kind of stuff. But he does events like Bar Citizen, Citizen Cons, all of the major events. He was at Gamescom. Gamescom was his first rodeo. So he's been very open with working with content creators, which is nice.
I can give you a fairly good tip about Cameron Wilkie. If he's awake and you're streaming, he's probably watched you.
Yeah. And I don't think Wilkie sleeps much. So.
So yes, fun time, much scotch, such wow.
So moving on to the other things, because by the way, if you are in the UK, it's in April, isn't it? No. Well, if you're in, where is it again? Is it going to be in Brisbane? The next one in Australia?
Yes. So next Bar Citizen in Australia is 26th of March from memory. It's a Sunday. And we're actually going to have a fun time over there. You'll see me there at that one as well. I'm going to fly up to it because why not?
Yeah, cool. And then in April, we have got the Bar Citizen in, where are you from again, Trillian?
Ah, God damn it. Adelaide. We're in Adelaide.
There's a Bar Citizen
Weird
in
place.
Adelaide. And then we've got BritisonCon in Manchester. So this next couple of weeks the next couple of months we've got at least one event in Australia or in the UK, and plus you've got your local Bar Citizens wherever you're going to go. There's actually, I think there's going to be an event at PAX East, which is going to be a Bar Citizen, and then there's also going to be an event somewhere around GDC is what last time I heard. So.
And I can confirm the actual date for the Adelaide one is the 24th of May.
24th of May.
Okay, cool. I
Just
should write that.
clarified that.
May. Oh. So there's lots of events if you guys are looking to it. And I always suggest going to these events just because there's a lot of it's easy to live in an isolated bubble. Be like, oh yeah, there's all these people who on the internet who follow Star Citizen, but you really don't understand the level of people who follow the game until you go to one of these events and you just meet the sheer numbers of people who follow the game. Like, wow, there are a lot of people, and they've come from all sorts of various like socioeconomic groups and age ranges and that kind of stuff. So it's pretty interesting.
And if you really want to succeed at those events, you need to be a content creator of the level where someone walks up to you with your favorite drink and just hands it to you. It's like, here you go. I'm like,
did that happen to you?
yes.
I don't know you.
All right, pubbers. My favorite drink is a whiskey sour. Whiskey sour. Just remember that.
PAX East whiskey sour.
I will be at the PAX East Star Citizen, so that'll be kind of cool. Anyways, moving on. And Meyer, are you going to be on a panel for BritizenCon this year again?
I'm not sure about panels. I think they want to mix things up. Last year they had a community content creator panel at BritizenCon, but I think this time around they want to do things a little bit more differently. So if they might just find some other people to do it this time around who are not, because I guess you can only say the same thing so many times before people get fed up. So yeah, we'll see. I will be there though. I'm not expecting people to buy me drinks, but I expect to drink a lot. I know that things are gonna go down.
Buy Meyer drinks. Meyer is fun when he's drunk. When Meyer gets really drunk, he gets really, really loose, and it's really fun to watch him. He saunters. He saunters when he's drunk. I've seen him saunter drunk. I'm like, yes. Meyer is a fun drunk when he saunters. All right, so move the mic a little bit away because now I'm peeking like crazy. So, moving on to the weekly events, you guys have all watched the ATVs and all that other good stuff. What was your takeaway from ATV this week? Good, average, subpar?
I like it a lot.
It was. I mean, yeah, I liked it. We've seen a bit of it before, but some of those new assets are looking really good. The Prospector is just. I love it.
With the British taps that everyone's on about.
Yes, the British taps.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess some people were kind of upset, or we're all kind of like, if it's another ship thing, like, there's a riot in the streets. But of all the ship things they could have done, I think that was the best it could have been.
Mm.
Aside from Banner Merchantman. But,
It's a Banner Merchantman.
take away. Yeah.
It's one of the
Banner
better
Merchant
ATVs we've had in a while.
I think the segment that honestly I like that sneak preview, but the segment that really blew me away more was the from the Hornet to the Hornet. From the original Hornet to what we have today, because the Hornet, a lot of people don't know, was the very first ship that they made flyable in game. It's the very first ship you see in the previews. It's the very first ship they made flyable in Arena Commander. It was the very first ship they ever made for Star Citizen. So it is the oldest ship and has the oldest numbers of bugs and other issues with it. So seeing it go from its very inception to what it is today is a very interesting kind of, like, you can see the progression of these older ships to becoming with the new models and new damage models. So
it was a
Hornet
brilliant little
retrospective.
featurette. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a very documentary style. I really liked it. I'm like, I expect them to do that with a lot more things once they come to as close to completion as the Super Hornet is now. It was very much like, this is the journey. This is the Hornet.
I expect these documentary style things to end up in like a one giant compilation that's like,
Oh my god.
like 14 hours of footage about the backgrounds of Star Citizen when it releases. Like, you want to know everything you want to know? Here's all you need to know in 14 hours.
Was
I think
that
we'll be
part of
looking
the
You're
at
gonna bring a
original-
packed lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that part of the original Kickstarter or a stretch goal that they were going to do a documentary at release? I can't
Yes.
remember.
Was it?
Yes,
Yeah.
it was.
Yes,
Okay.
it was.
Which they have been
Stretch-
filming every 3 months from memory.
Yeah. That's right. Yep.
I have a feeling that if they do make this documentary, we're going to see another Guinness World Record on our hands for longest documentary.
Yes.
Well, I mean, it might be a multi-part documentary, but it's actually...
It might be episodic or
I,
something.
I think it would be a very interesting, like maybe years, like 2014, 2015, 2016. And I think the big thing about it is that something like that is actually good, not just for us as fans, but it'll be good for the gaming industry as a whole. So anybody who's interested in gaming, how gaming development works, will get literally, hey, here's exactly how this game went from concept to Kickstarter to funded to complete. And
that's basically just the entire thing is just Tony Zurovic answering one question.
Tony,
That's how it
Zurovic.
opens. It's just Tony sitting there, and somebody says, "So Tony, tell us about Star Citizen." 3
Yeah.
hours later. On that covers first-person shooting. Let's move on to flight.
Oh. So have you guys got a chance to play 2.6.1?
Not the live version. Did anything
Nope.
happen with live that didn't happen in the PTU?
They changed around Korea. That was kind of cool. And they've
All right.
It's now they now have a grenade point. It's the only place you can get grenades in the universe is at Korea. And
Right.
they've made it.
Can't you get... did they fix it? You can get them when you refill at any other gun shops?
I don't know. I haven't checked it out. I don't think you can.
Because
No, you
I remember-
can't get them. There's now a separate ammo container for grenades.
Yeah. And you can't
Okay.
get them in
Okay.
the ammo
Yeah, 'cause I
shops.
remember-
The only place you can get them is Security Point Korea. So if you want
I
grenades, you
may
gotta go
or may not have got them in the first PTU to throw them out corp a little bit.
Of course, you throw them in Dark Corp. Everyone throws them in Dark Corp. When 2.6.
Yeah, it was great.
Just
I'd also
be
like to
able
point
tell
out
them.
the biggest undocumented feature in this patch: the Aurora MR now has missiles.
Yep.
Really?
Oh,
I
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
even know that. Yeah.
It has 2 marksmans.
Yeah. So because Aurora versus Aurora, it's like the winner is the guy who launches the first missile.
Well, they've changed missiles. They've nerfed the hell out of missiles. So it's
Yeah.
like they took the nerf back to the missiles. But
yeah.
in response, though, they've given all of the ships more missiles. Like the Hornet now has 4 missile slots instead of just 2. The Vanguard now has 4 missile slots instead of 2. Like the Aurora MR has more missiles. And so their goal is to hit it with a nerf bat, but give everyone ridiculous amounts of them, so that they work kind of like ammo weapons. They just do larger damage over a shorter period of time.
Right.
So,
The one thing that surprised me from the PTU, because I if you know me, if you've seen my stream, I do a lot more Star Marine than anything else, but we seem to have gotten a very early implementation of the adaptive music system in the PU.
Mhm.
That's really, really good,
Really?
actually. I
It's-
really enjoy it.
it's
There's
good.
different states for EVA.
Oh, I've
for
been waiting for that.
EVA is brilliant, and
Yeah.
the one thing I'm looking for
Sounds
is
like
more
Interstellar.
diversity. What I'm looking for now is more diversity. Like being able to diversify
Mhm.
the music going forward will make it a little
It's
bit
a
easier.
little buggy, but it is, you can see where it's going, and it
Oh, yeah.
really does work well. It sounds, it's much more cinematic than just that, like, oh, peaceful music, oh,
Mhm. Combat
fight music, something's happening.
Yeah, the same combat music over and over and over again. And just like after a while, you're like, I've gotten in so many fights. This music is burned into my brain. Damn
There's
it!
some really subtle little tracks in there too. I noticed in some ship combat that there's even some kind of amplified explosion noises or thumping, booming, like big bass drum noises that come in when you're in combat. That kind of add to the overall feel of combat.
Yeah, adding to that, I think they did another audio pass between the PTU and
Yeah.
release, because there's some audio passes they've done to make it look or make it sound much better.
Mhm.
So
Make it
It's
look
also
and
I
hear
don't
and
know if
sound
they-
better.
make it
Yeah.
hear and sound better.
I don't know if they've done audio for it, but it looks like they implemented. I'm not sure if it was already in or not. A lot of the damage states for the ships. Someone did a tour of the Caterpillar, the Starfarer, the Constellation, and they're all looking full and
Gorgeous, man.
up
It's
to date.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Overall, it's just
Yeah,
a
it's
great
gorgeous.
quality of life pass. Everything's just
Mm.
got this little extra little polish to it.
I've-
Sounds and animations are synced a slightly better.
My FPS hasn't gone up much, but what has happened is that I'm lagging less. I'm experiencing less like jitter and like it's like when I turn, I don't go turn.
Yep.
Turn. I go turn. It's still at like 24 to 30 FPS, but I'm turning at 24 FPS rather than like stuttering at 24, 30 FPS.
I can't tell if it's because of that or if they also changed or tweaked. The basically the space dust effect that gives you a sense of speed and turning. Something about that feels different to me because flying feels a lot better. The sensory input between the visual input, the audio input, and actually flying around just feels a lot better.
I'm going to say about 7 or 8 months ago, they showed off on ATV. It was part of the ATV Fast Forward. They showed like the vector sort of AR kind of thing you could set up. So you hit a button and it brings on the kind of artificial sort of space dust that people hated, and you could switch it off if you didn't like it.
Oh yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah.
More immersive, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting that in. Yeah.
Mm.
I think that's one of the things. I think it was like one of those prototypes that they were planning on doing, but it never really bothered.
Yeah. I mean, like most things, it's a work in progress. Do you reckon it's actually going to be a thing, though, Tyrellian? I mean, it's a cool thing, but I don't know if it'll be a very accepted thing,
I think
it will.
You
And
think so?
I only say that because people get up in arms when they're taking screenshots and stuff, and I know it'd be obviously they've gone way out of their way with the cinematic tools.
yeah.
Is having that space dust in your shots? Yeah,
That's the
just
other
get
thing
that out of the
that
way.
they added. They added a freaking spectator mode for custom action.
Yes,
They
For
did,
Submarine.
yeah.
So you can
I'm gonna
actually
need to give that
do
a go.
like shoutcasting for events and stuff like that.
Astrofab,
nice.
you and Nate, we
Yeah.
need to talk.
We need to talk. Yeah, we need to talk.
Star Marine in general
welcome to
feels
the
so
drunken Star Marine, masters.
Remember, folks, everyone summon someone grenades
yeah, I'm gonna have
themselves.
to give that a proper
Drink.
go.
The one thing I've noticed in Star Marine, though, between PTU and Live, if you guys all played the PTU all last week, it had pretty low population for PTU.
Yeah.
And obviously one of the big reasons to have waves and do the PTU is to stress test the servers, and it got hit real hard when 261 went live last night. And in Star Marine, I've noticed since last night, there's some weird bug going on with the damage states or in Star Marine. Like, you'll play one round where you die constantly in one hit, and the next round you kill everybody else in one hit. But it plays smoothly, so there's something funky going on there, and I think it has to do with the servers being really burdened, and they weren't really pushed that hard.
I haven't really had the opportunity to try it, but speaking of damage states, do you think that the way we have ship damage states right now, that we'll have damage states on armor?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
We're supposed to. Yeah.
Yes.
Right,
All of my
right.
I hope my armor doesn't explode when I kill it, though.
Self-destruct heavy armor and run into somebody.
I mean, it would be kind of it would be kind of interesting to have like the powered armor where you have like a GTFO mode where you're just like you push a button and you're just like the armor pieces just like fly off out of you and you just run away. You know, but
diva.
yeah,
Whack that later nerds button.
but I think.
Oh yeah, did you talk about the heavy armor? When did that get released? A little concept piece.
Oh, we talked about it last
last
week.
week or-
Last
Yeah, like
week,
last
Yeah,
week.
yeah, I thought so.
It looks
That looks
fantastic
cool.
though. We talked about it last
a bit
week.
too chunky in my opinion.
It looks like it can take a lot of bullets,
Which is
like
what's
a lot of
cool.
bullets. Yeah.
It looks, for me, it looks like an American footballer, like it's someone who's like ready to go in and like he looks like a lineman. It looks like the armor of a lineman. You know, it doesn't look like a marine. It looks like a
Space Marine.
Someone compared it to like the Hulkbuster in terms of its lines. Like it looks a lot like
Like a berserker?
yeah.
I'm excited
Like a berserker.
for the combo of it. If you guys remember in the first 3.0 demo, it was the first 3.0 demo, not the Homestead demo. They showed off there was two pilots. So one guy was in like a sort of an armor set with an RS black, and I kind of noticed later on that he was wearing the medium or might have been the light marine armor, but it's black and he's got the RSI helmet, and that was like
Hopefully
a really
we'll
good
get
combo.
that level of customization.
Well, they've said that they want to do
Hopefully
that. They want you to be able
They
to
want
have, and I think it's just an item system 2.0 thing, which is the fucking game. At
Yeah.
this point, it's just like when is they coming out?
Yep.
Is item system 2.0 yet done? Nope. That's when it comes out. When item system 2.0 is done. Just rename the
Item
game.
has become container something as well. It's
Streaming container
every time
system. Yeah.
Object containers.
Object container, yeah.
Yeah. It's
That's
every
too.
time we hear about Object 2.0, it's like, by the way, I got this new feature eventually.
yeah. It's at this point, this game should be renamed Star Citizen or item 2.0 Star Citizen. You know?
It's just a subtitle now.
Yeah.
Because one thing we can no longer call it is loading commander.
It's no Jesus Christ. It's loads so
Yeah,
fast.
hey,
Seriously?
right.
Like single player matches, just so quick.
Even the even in 261, the multiplayer stuff with Star
Boom,
Marine, the load out
boom.
and load ins are still a lot faster without the Mega Map multiplayer than they used to be. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Now, I will say that I think
exciting.
the issue you were saying with PTU, I think the issue boils down to hype. A lot of people play to stress test with the open PTU because there's hype. And because 2.6.1 is an iterative patch, it's not really new content. There's nothing really. A lot of people's hype are just very like, call me when 3.0 comes out. And I think that's the state
so
we're
much
at.
better than 2.6 though, and also 30 gig patches.
Yeah, and that was the other thing I was going to say is
Data
Delta
packs
patching. And
and-
someone even came into chat right now and said, is Delta patching in yet? It's like, no, it's not. Last time we heard, they're still working on it. So
I can give you one absolute guarantee: the instant that Delta patching is working properly and tested sufficiently, it will go live.
yeah.
Like,
That'll be it.
there-
That'll
it-
change.
No delay.
There
They're
won't be a
like,
delay.
we released a patch today. All it is Delta patching, but have fun, kids.
Yeah, well, I think we'll see Delta patching come in when they have a Spectrum added to it, which is a nice segue to say, have you tried Spectrum yet? Have you tried Star Discord?
Star Discord.
Star Discord book face.
I'm not sure whether to call it like Discord 2.0 or Spacebook. Either or fits it.
I mean,
Facebook Marine 42.
Oh,
oh God, Sea Dizzle.
Oh,
A wild Sea Dizzle did appear.
Hold on. You still have the.
You've ruined everything.
If you join, you'll ruin every. If you join the video conference, you'll ruin it. But so give me a second to get my preview editor up. If it works. There we go.
Cancel everything. Restart the stream.
Okay, try to join the Zoom now. Oh, you're actually still here. Oh,
Yeah.
it didn't ruin anything. Thank God, it didn't ruin anything. C Dizzle did not break everything.
Finally, didn't ruin something. First
Good job,
time in his life.
Comcast.
First time ever.
Every girl I've ever dated is like, now's the time you start not ruining shit.
Here we go. Here we go. Watch this. Watch this. Hold on. Watch this.
Watch this. Watch this. Wait for it. Watch this. Wait for it. It's like a Star Citizen patch. Wait for it. Wait for it.
Boom.
See
Boom.
this soon.
C Dizzle's suddenly there with his name and everything. So.
Hey, it's your boy.
Back.
If we could talk about the Delta patch really quickly, I mean, like, you guys from early on backing, remember, like, they used to do hot fixes and hot patches, like, you know, while we had live, like, every now and then. But, you know, as once we got to a certain threshold, like, number of backers, I think it didn't become feasible, at least financially. And so they kind of stopped that, and they started moving towards a more PTU Evocati model. Do you think that once we'll be able to get those patches in and much smaller, that they'll bring back hot fixing and stuff like that? Or
I think so.
I honestly think that once the cost to patch reduces massively, it's gonna make it so they're like, so we're only adding one feature, but we might as well.
Did any of you actually catch Ben's Day with Ben Lesnick last Monday? Was
No.
it?
And some favoritism streamer thing.
I missed it.
Not,
Somebody told
not
me about
salty.
it.
Not salty at all. for assault.
I missed it, but somebody was.
It sounds
telling
like
me
some
that Ben
unfair
actually-
assault.
Yeah, Ben actually
Wow.
talked about that, about when the Delta Patcher came out, and this is telephone,
Yeah.
so don't take this with a grain of salt because I haven't verified it. But he was basically saying that once we have Delta patching, a lot of it'll mostly at that point be like professions and mechanics that are more top end code and not back end difficult engine code. Then
Right.
with the Delta patcher, they'll be able to, when those are done, like drop them in every week kind of thing.
that's kick-ass.
It'll be much easier to just, mining's ready. Bloop, there you go. Or this is fixed. Dropped it.
Yeah, no,
There's
and-
200 megabyte patch. Good to go.
Exactly. Yeah, and we've seen that with other games as well.
Yeah.
That do delta patching. It's the same concept. It's just
Yeah, exactly.
eventually it becomes easier to add, and I think boils down to the fact that the next major PAX 3.0 is the game, and not in the sense of like the full game, but it's the game in terms of everything after that is easy.
It's kind of it's when we actually get to like true alpha.
Yeah.
People hate the pre-alpha term, but we kind of are. It's all like test beds right now.
Yeah.
It's not really the game yet. So.
They really
Chris
kind of
Roberts
fucked
said that
up
we
with the whole
were
early
finally
access
going
thing.
out. But Chris Roberts said we were finally going out of the out of the pre-alpha process back when he was about to release Star Marine in March, 2015?
2015.
You know, scope changes.
March 2001.
Yeah. God damn. Brutal.
Like they really should have just stuck with calling it a tech demo rather than like an early alpha or pre-alpha.
I mean,
That's what's
to be fair, I get a lot more fun out of this tech demo than I've gotten out of some games before.
Oh hell yeah!
But it's
Oh, yeah.
so it's a little bit more than a tech demo, but it's not quite an alpha. Like 3.0 is that first time we're going to get, you'll be able to see, will the game suck or not? Will you enjoy this game or not? And a lot of times for a lot of people that'll be yes, a lot of people will be no. Some people will fall out of the game because they play the game at 3.0 and are like, nope.
And some
it
people
sucks.
would be like, "Well, I've already spent $2,000 on this, so I guess I have to like." it."
Only $2,000. How cute.
How cute. Only
Have
2,000.
to have to play it every day,
Three-
nothing else.
3.0 is going to be for the shorter scale, but it's going to be to scale of all of Stanton. So like the 10-minute travel time they talked about. Because at the moment, obviously your fuel won't last for 10 minutes. If you try and travel out to all the different ICC probe missions, you'll run out of fuel.
Yeah.
Well, I
so
think-
assuming they bump it up.
Yeah, we'll get more fuel.
Yeah.
We'll get more for fuel for sure. Like the
Yeah.
fuel increase.
It'll be a whole nother balance pass.
They
Or
mentioned
if they
about
could not,
a
and I can make a
sort of-
stack load of money in my beer fairer.
Exactly. It also makes a reason for Starfarers and that kind of thing to actually happen.
Exactly. They also
think
mentioned truck stops. They
Yeah,
were
I was
working
just
on.
gonna say
That'd be really good, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the notion of a 10-minute travel time for within a system is it's pretty spot on. It's pretty good. Although I think that maybe perhaps as players, we could probably stomach a bit longer as well. I started playing Elite Dangerous. I know Paul started playing as well. And my first thing that I wanted to do was move to the Sol system, and you need to grind rep on the stations around there. And there is a really notorious mission there called, well, it's not a mission, but basically it's you have to go to this one station in Alpha Centauri called Hutton, but you end up on one of the 3 suns in Alpha Centauri, and then you need to go on like a warp instead of like frame shift whatever
30
to get to the place. It took me 60. It took me 60 to get to Hutton.
It takes 30 minutes to an hour to get the Hutton orbital from an Alpha Centauri. It is.
That's the difference between a procedurally generated galaxy and a couple hundred solar systems with a ton of content in them.
Yeah.
And
So,
that real PogChamp gameplay. Streams love to watch.
the big thing about Hutton Orbital and that kind of stuff though is it's a good cautionary tale for CIG, because CIG needs to focus on it takes you 10 minutes to get from one place to another, but that's not just you sitting there for 10 minutes going, how about them space giants? You know, you got
walk around on your ship. You
got to scan.
Actually,
you got to walk
you
on
can't
your
do much
ship.
on
You got
ships right now.
You got to run
I was
out of
talking
fuel. You know, and so you have to stop off and get
That
stopped
pool
off.
table in that Polaris is going to look real nice with those fucking 5-hour flight times.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know.
I was talking about that earlier today too, because one of the things people I think forget sometimes is that beyond the actual combat damage, all of your ship components have normal wear and tear from use. So if you are on like a 10-15 minute quantum, you're gonna have to run around and make sure fuses aren't blowing and repairing stuff.
Doing calibration.
It'll make the time go by fast.
All right, calm down there, Garrus. Calm down, all right? God. I'm expecting Garrus. I'm guessing Garrus and Kaylee's are going to be everywhere. Like, what are you doing, Cdizzle? I'm calibrating. This thing isn't fucking tuned yet. I'm fixing it. Shut up. Stop coming.
I'm going to look at mid-quantum, because that's not going to end poorly at all.
I think my 2 biggest concerns would be the first one would be not
concern.
Concern.
You got to do the concerns. The concern brackets. The concern brackets.
Okay, my biggest concerns.
There we go.
Would definitely be not say. Do I have to keep them like this?
No. You just do it once. When you say concern, you got to put it in brackets. Other than that, so you're good.
Okay. My biggest concerns would be your ship. Bloody hell! Forgot what I was saying. Right, yeah, not saving your location. So getting into bed and logging off. If you're testing, for example, you're on one side of Stanton. You want to go over and test some stuff on Microtech. You go there. You take all the time to fly down through atmosphere, land, do all the protocol stuff, and then you crash because it's an alpha. To log back in all the way back at Olisar or something would just be grumble.
I think that
The salt will flow.
that's something that they're going to have to figure out sometime between now and 3.0 is procedural.
Hopefully they do.
Positioning. I hope they do it. They better do it.
Because the other thing they said was it was like, oh yeah, but if you log off, you're an AI takes over your character and you just fly back to the nearest port. And I'm like, no.
Yeah, I never like that.
No,
because
it ruins the long-term exploration. Like one dude who's out in his fucking Carrack for 3 months just exploring, systems, very carefully. He shouldn't be like, oh, I got to log off, and then like go all the way back out to his location, every day to be able to continue exploring an area. So I don't know. It's not explorer friendly, that concept. The beds made sense as terms of a save point, but.
I think that and stuff to do on your ship needs to be. I mean, at the moment, there's not much you can do on the ship. I mean, obviously, if they implemented stuff like tweaking your components or whatever, but I don't expect that in 3.0.
I just generally 2.0.
Yes, everything's just item 2.0. But stuff like
I'm honestly
changing
waiting
out
for
clothes.
EVA suit 2.0.
It's part of the item
oxygen
port.
suit.
Yeah, no, that's another thing. Like one of the things that I know I and Meyer and Farah are getting into is Hellion when it comes out next week. And the reason why we're getting into Hellion is because and I've talked with Torque about this extensively, and he's like, it's the survival system I want to see in Star Citizen. And it's like, it is. It's the survival system that most of us want to see. Oxygen and fuel should be the things you worry about. None of this food and water bullshit, but oxygen and fuel. That's what should matter most of all in space.
Yeah, exactly.
So, because every time you...
Also, I want to take off my helmet still.
Yeah, just take your helmet off and toss it off.
I just want to take it off, like hold up beside and walk
Dramatically to the
like,
slow epic music. You know, yeah.
Yes.
Walk through.
Gotta have
Walk through
cinematic camera and everything.
Slow-mo.
just walk
It's
through
gonna
our
look great.
court looking like a douche. Like yes,
Big
I'm
music
an epic,
the
and then like
field
and there
and
are people walking by you like, the fuck are you doing? Like, I'm going to my ship.
Are you playing
Playing
your
music
own
over
solo
comms.
music?
Oh. It's gonna be great.
It's like a really bad version
Play
of
two
Baywatch.
Can't drink your space scotch with your helmet on.
So no,
With
but,
a straw, you might be able to.
True.
but in reality, like I don't think we ever actually covered this in terms of talking about Spectrum. Is Spectrum? What are your initial thoughts on Spectrum? Other than that, yeah, it's an alpha. It's the first pass.
I'm not sure what the appeal of it is at the moment.
Yeah.
So my personal experience is that for the last 20 minutes, someone's been replying with the poop emote to every single comment in chat.
Yes.
That's pretty accurate.
Drop your poop emojis in chat, guys. Just drop poop emojis right now.
I think
fair,
reactions.
If I don't see,
I've done the same thing.
if I don't see, like,
I've done the same thing with eggplants.
if I don't see a string of just poop emojis in like the YouTube comments, then I have failed as a YouTube as any kind of YouTube creator. So yes.
The wall of shit just got 3 emojis high.
I might be in the minority, but I think reactions are probably the single worst thing that they added to Discord, and then they chose
Worst
that.
Yes. They seem
I mean,
useless to me.
I mean, like, sure, they might have some worth in a smaller Discord, maybe 50 to 100 people, but like, I moderate a Discord that has over 1,000. No, we turned them off because like it was ridiculous.
Yeah, that's-
People are douchebags.
But every time
they spell swear words
whenever
and stuff.
CIG makes an announcement that we can't reply to, we just have to spam the eggplant. Like, it's the only way we can convey our feelings for whatever's being said.
Poop and eggplants.
And the only feeling you
poop,
comes to mind is
eggplants,
eggplant.
Well, eggplant is
eggplant,
it's symbolic. What is the eggplant
is
symbolic
symbolic.
for?
Well, how long
That
do you
I'm
nutrition?
not sure. It's a deeply safeguarded secret.
Yeah.
I guess you could. It's similar to cucumber, I guess.
Yes, very similar. Only purple.
Yes. Only the higher
That
ones
it's
in the
good if
order
you eat it
are
just like
allowed
it
to
is,
know
or if you
exactly
fry
what.
it, or if you put it in a salad.
Yeah, exactly. It works. It
It's
works.
similar.
It works just like cucumber in that sense. Yeah, totally.
Although I'm not sure how pickled eggplant tastes.
You know, that actually sounds interesting. I'd have to ask Cam about that if she's tried pickled
Eggplant in a burger?
Eggplant in a burger I've had before. It's actually not bad.
I've had eggplant burgers.
Yeah.
I've never
like-
tried it.
Yeah, they're not bad.
Like lightly fried, really good.
yeah, bread them, fry them, good stuff.
I'll have to
I
try
like
that.
the
Deep
I
fried
like
eggplant
the-
is delicious.
That
with
hurts
butter.
actually. I can't think about that.
I'm liking Spectrum as an alpha and a first implementation, but what I'm really curious about is the stuff that's going to be more advanced than a Star Discord. Yeah, when we get the integrated VoIP and the in-game overlay and all that kind of stuff.
I think that's
To
what
really
we're
see
all
I
waiting
agree.
for.
I agree.
where they run with it is where I'm more curious because it's Discord right now.
I will give them props. I'll give them
Yeah.
props for integrating their chat system and their forum system into one. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
that is
amazing. Yeah.
at least now it's convenient. You know, so if you want to go to the chat or to Discord, you don't have to click like 14 different tabs. Now they just got to fix their website so it's not garbage, and then we can. I was.
Is the plan? I was curious about that. Is the
Savage.
plan to
Damn.
kind of like integrate the website into Spectrum and kind of get rid of the website, or is it
Oh,
gonna
I
keep
don't think
one or
they
the
do
other?
that.
No, but
Yeah,
a
you
lot of
couldn't get rid of the website.
all of the community sides of Spectrum of the website, and I think even the stores, like the store
Yeah.
pages, not like the store pages for people buying new stuff, but like being able to buy in-game items like the Rec
Like
store
Voyager
and the
Direct
Voyager
and
Rect.
stuff,
That
yeah.
will all port over
Yeah.
to Spectrum eventually. I think that's what
I
is the
thought,
plan.
Yeah, okay.
But
Yeah.
what they really need to do is now that they've removed that stuff, they need to go through and actually revamp their website. And the reason why I said that is because I was talking with a couple of content creators the other day, and they know I play Star Citizen, and they told me that their concerns, and their main thing was I go on the website and I have no fucking idea what I'm supposed to do. All I see
it's
is
the
them pushing
worst fucking
$50,000 package in my face, and I'm like, this is pay to win. Fuck you.
That
And
is
if-
Yeah.
something I've never understood. That's the most simplest design flaw of that website is that all you have to do is hide those high-level packages unless you're a registered member that already owns a game package.
What you should,
that website.
what you should do is
That's how it
hide.
should be.
You should hide everything except for the except for the starter
basic
package, because they
Exactly.
already do that with Squadron 42. If you own Squadron 42, they hide that package, that add-on for
I'm curious how many people have been scared off by that because they don't understand the project, think it's pay to win, or
A lot.
just think
A
it's
lot.
a money
Every single one of my
scam.
friends.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
Every
it's-
single
it's-
person I've
and they
ever
My
seen
whole-
do as
so
well.
that you only see those starter packages until you own one and have a registered account, and then it's like, oh, and here's some other options. By the way, you don't have to buy these. But when they throw
Yeah, I'd say
that
the majority
right in
of-
anybody's face, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I wonder if
The
they
majority of
have
my
some.
team.
Yeah.
Oh no, you're good.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say I wonder if they have some kind of like a metric or like that they have, and basically, yeah, they know they know that anybody seeing that page would be like, oh my god, pay to win, and they'd leave. But I
Yeah.
wonder how many people have actually gone to the website and gone, this looks interesting. I think I'll buy a completionist package right now.
I was
Like,
not
first
sold on this
account,
game until I saw that
brand new.
$5,000 package.
Because if
$50,000.
there's even one person who's done that, I think that's probably enough for them to say, you know what, let's
Yeah.
keep it there.
It seems pretty common. Well, yeah, that's true.
As
Yeah,
kind of
no,
like
almost.
icky as that is.
I mean, it's going to be a bit
Almost my
sketchy when you
entire
see it in a retail store, and it's like this gold-plated box on the shelf that says Star Citizen
Yeah.
Completionist Edition, and then you've got to like walk into a store and buy a $50,000 with your credit
Can
card.
you imagine? Can you imagine if they sold
just-
Star Citizen in shops
It
and they sold
surprises me.
Completionist in shops?
It
How
really
heavy would that package
Well,
weigh?
well see, here's the thing: is that the completionist would just be like a little data disk. It would just be like a flash drive, like a 1 terabyte
24
flash drive.
karat gold.
It would be like made out of gold, but it would
Or
be
just
like
a code.
or just a code. Yeah, they
It
just
could
give
just
you a
be-
It's
code.
one of those like plastic
yeah.
cards on a piece that you
Yeah.
can buy at 7-Eleven.
You open it up to
You walk
take
it
off
like
the
a-
back and someone.
And you walk
Like a
in, you have,
Steam
to,
voucher.
you have to drop 5G, like just money, wads of money at the table, and get a little card, and that's it. Like that would be. That's like, did you? Is this like the president's number? Is this like? Is this like call for like free, cocaine and hookers for life kind of card? What kind of is this? Is this the American Express black card?
$5,000? I'm gonna buy that shit right now. Hookers and cocaine for life. Holy shit!
I didn't
That's
say it was
the,
good hookers or cocaine. I was just saying hookers
Oh,
or
it don't
cocaine.
matter. Quantity over quality. I'll take quantity all day.
That's all part of Concierge 2.0. coming soon.
Concierge 2.0. But and Miss Hartz has a good point here. Is hell half the community thinks it's still about buying ships, and that's one of the major things that I think Star Citizen as a company is kind of in this kind of weird. CIG and its companies in this weird nebulous identity zone where they're like, we're still a Kickstarter company, but we want to be professional about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like
It's
when
like a
Professional in way
professional
that makes
streamer.
you buy ships.
What's that? Cecilia, what was that?
Yeah.
Said professional in a way that makes you buy ships. Let me tell you more about this pipeline.
Yeah. What was that, Farisol?
It's like the title professional streamer. It's really hard to comprehend.
No.
It is. It is. Because
yeah.
at the end of the day, what is a streamer? Someone who plays video games for entertainment online, for other people's entertainment online,
Yeah,
which is fantastic. But at the same time, what is a professional who plays video games?
Someone who wears a suit and tie.
Well,
Nice.
Astra's doing it well already. I guess we need to follow.
dress for the job you want, not the job you have, kind of thing.
Exactly.
Right, yeah, that reminded me when articles still continue to mess up the difference between Star Citizen and Squadron 42.
Or they call it Star
I-
Citizen
I-
Squadron 42.
I don't know how they do it. Yeah, that too. What else?
I'm just excited for Squadron 43.
I will say
I
one
think-
thing I talk about on my stream that, in terms of their pricing, and I think they totally shoot themselves in the foot with that, with all those big game packages, is that for any other early access game that I've ever come across, they are the least nickel and dimey company I've ever come across. Because for $45, what used to be 35 back in the day, that you can get 2 AAA games,
used to be 30.
alpha, beta.
It used to
Yeah,
be 25. It used
or
to be $25.
yeah. To get access, even now at 60, to get access to everything is a hell of a deal. Where most other games, or even major release games like certain Origin battle-oriented titles, where it's $90 for the premium to get all the DLCs and shit. For a game of this scope, it's 2 games for $60 right now. Is
Nothing has
incredibly impressive.
pissed me off more than Ark Survival and their early access DLC.
Yeah,
I
it's bullshit.
can't even.
What does that even mean?
They just everybody's nickel and diming gamers except for Star Citizen, but yet somebody stumbles in and goes to that website and they're like, $5,000?
For Honor. AAA release title, fucking paid DLC inside of it, like microtransactions inside of it.
Really?
Yes, it has microtransactions inside of it. Now, it doesn't. It's not too game effecty, but it has the possibility for long-term game effects. Well, it's a technical term, all right? You should learn that term.
I'm going to use that from now.
Yeah, use that on your professors when you're going to school. Like I don't want to affect game effectiveness instead of game balance, game effectiveness.
Citizen isn't pay to win; it's pay effecty.
Yeah, I don't mind DLC or microtransactions for cosmetic stuff.
Right now, for Honor, that's what it is.
Basically, in For Honor, you can buy currency that you can spend on RNG boxes for gear as well as cosmetics.
There are something. So go on.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Myra. You haven't talked in a while.
No, go. You got this.
I was going to say that there's something that Total Biscuit, aka John Bain, used to always harp on about, and that was about video games respecting people's time. And not everybody can spend the amount of time that some people do, 12 hours a day, playing a video game to achieve something. And so some video games, offer through microtransactions the ability to skip grind processes and stuff in order to kind of... Exactly. I think that's what Star Citizen kind of does. It's not necessarily pay to win. It's kind of more like pay to kind of enter. But the way ships work in the game, each ship is a different genre, as opposed to each ship. Well, I mean, apart from with the fighting ships, in which case, this ship trumps that one, and even then, the highest level fighting ships you can't use to explore, you can't use to mine, that kind of thing. So I think that kind of cancels each other out.
You can, but
you can use them to mine for salt.
Is good.
But
to mine for salt.
Can you imagine slapping mining lasers?
For that.
Can you imagine strapping mining lasers to like a saber? And be like,
but where would you store the stuff?
I feel like
just like someone.
I can imagine would get.
Yeah.
I can imagine some like.
Have you two guys sitting out the sides of the Aurora, just little mining laser pistols shooting out?
Yeah. No, I fully expect some guy to be like, I'm going to turn my saber into a miner and just figure out how to mine with a saber. It's going to happen. Someone's going to meta it.
But it's fine. You just need to have Spaceball 1 next to you vacuuming up.
Yeah.
All of the
fair enough. Fair enough.
Wouldn't Test Squadron just run their Auroras into the asteroids?
That's how we mine.
And whatever comes off, you mine, even though it's mostly Aurora parts,
and dead bodies.
We combine salvage and mining to be most efficient squadron ever, okay? At the same time.
Insurance companies don't love us. Test Squadron.
Microtransactions. I've had an idea that for a model Star Citizen I think could use, kind of based on their whole ship sale thing, where it's, you can buy it with real money now, but you'll be able to buy any of that in-game with in-game currency. I'd like to see them do that with cosmetic stuff down the road. Like, say you buy spend $2 and get some fancy leather jacket for your character on the store and real money. Have that same asset be findable, like in some remote station in unlawful space, and it's the same asset except the in-game one has like an arm patch or something, so you visually can tell the difference between somebody risked everything to go and get that and somebody paid money, so it gives the in-game person bragging rights. They can't bitch about somebody spending money on it, but in essence it's the same asset with just a slight visual cue that you can tell the difference.
I think the other way I'd love to see them do, and this is from a merchandising standpoint, is hey, if you buy this T-shirt, your character also gets one.
Oh,
I want the Arena Commander T-shirt that they had in ArcCorp all those patches ago, because I bought one on the store, so therefore they should know this already.
Or a Star Marine T-shirt, or a Big Benny's T-shirt, or anything like that.
Totally.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I wear the RSI Polaris T-shirt.
Yep.
A Big Benny's T-shirt is pretty much a kill me on sight kind of T-shirt. I'm going after them. Every last one of them.
Star Citizen's version of Nyan Cat.
Yeah. Oh.
Yep.
Now that you've said that, somebody is going to make a Neon Cat Big Benny's thing with instead of a rainbow, it's going to be noodles.
I'm
Big
honestly
Benny, Big
surprised that when you go to Bennyhenge, that it's not just a dead horse.
That's been crushed by one of.
That's actually the name of the pirate who's been crushed in there. His name is Horse.
Oh, really?
So yeah, so
Yeah, he was Native American.
Nice.
his name was
At least someone
Fail
somewhere in
Horse.
CIG has realized. They just realized enough's enough.
Yeah. That's all any of us are gonna hear on in-game VoIP for like the first 4 daes that in-game VoIP gets put in is the Big Benny's theme music coming
Oh,
out.
dear
So
God.
yum, so
Yeah.
wow.
Also, salt. The salt factors are going to be real in in-game void because the amount of salty players who I fought against, who like I kill because like I ambushed them and killed them. They're like,
Oh, shit,
"Fuck you!
yeah.
You have no honor. Fuck you!" I still have a dude who's
Oh,
hunting,
man.
who goes through my YouTube. Like there was one highlight where I killed him and three of his buddies. And I managed to do it by escaping from him because I wasn't killing him because he was in a meta saber at the time. And I went and I healed, and as I healed and I took off, he jumped in to attack me. So I finished him off because he was still weak. And I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, I did smart and I won. He has been hounding me on YouTube comments for months, talking about how I'm a bitch and I have no honor and all this other shit. And I'm just like,
Hi there, how you doing?
wrong,
Good to see you
but-
down in the YouTube comments, just down below.
yeah, fuck you.
I hope salt is an in-game mineable resource. And
Oh
it's,
my
like,
God,
the most
please.
expensive resource in the verse.
I've been over this one for a while. The thing that I really, really want to see in the game, and I say this every captain's table, and Paul will probably bitch about it later, is that I would love to see an asteroid field added to the game, mostly volatile mineral salts, so you can go to the forums, which is the name of the asteroid field, and mine for salt.
Yeah, I would love this. I'm not angry at this at all. I want you to be able to have like a salt container, and then as like a salt shaker, and as a way to like as a way to like piss off people if you beat them in the universe, is to just drop a salt shaker on their bodies and walk away, so that if someone else goes up, they'd be like, oh wow. Or just hand people salt, like, "Hey, you're an asshole. Here's some salt," and like do a trade where you just give them salt, as a like an in-game way of saying "fuck off," you know.
Instead of a teabagging animation, you
Yeah.
just crouch over somebody and
And just-
shake salt on them.
Sprinkle salt.
Like that one
Sprinkle some
meme
salt on
guy
it. Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Just sneak up, EMP a ship, and transfer some salt to their cargo
be the
flyway.
best.
Exactly.
That'd be terrific.
Oh my god. Anyways, moving on from now because we're at that 1 hour mark, so we're gonna move on from our discussion to you guys can ask us questions. Exclamation point questions in chat. Exclamation point question mark or exclamation point question. We'll give you a link. Go to that link. Put your name in. Put your question in. You can ask it to individual cast members. You can ask it to the whole cast. You can ask any question you like. However, if you ask a dumb question, I'm going to let Sea Dizzle or Fairasalt answer it for you, and maybe combined they might answer it. So, and they'll give you some ridiculous answer. The other thing is none of us are CIG devs except for apparently Terrellian, who is CIG Australia.
We have been told that apparently at release there'll be a new brand added to the game, which is Derek Brand Salt.
Derek Brand Salt. Yeah,
It has to be.
yeah. That'd
I'll be right
great.
back. Someone's
Absolutely
knocking
has
on
to
my
be.
door.
And then
It's the Reavers.
three of us.
Wash rum.
Oh God! And then, but we're not CIG developers, but we'll pretend we are, and we'll give you
No.
answers.
Yes.
So everything you hear in here is confirmed, CIG approved, and they love it when you go to Spectrum or the forums or the Reddit and be like, "I just heard this. It was confirmed by CIG developer."
Especially
Fairasalt."
Reddit.
Especially Reddit.
With an official flair. Official flair.
They love
I'll
it.
just-
Absolutely
I'll just
love
go
it.
into my bathroom really quick, look in the mirror, and say fidelity 3 times into it with the lights off, and
And
Chris Roberts will
We'll
appear.
appear, yeah. So, alrighty, guys. So, with that being
We
said,
are often wrong, but never unsure.
yeah, we're often wrong, but I'm not sure. Well, all right. So,
Well said.
Board Gamer gave us the tagline. Gave me the tagline for the captain's table a while ago, which was the captain's table. We don't know shit. So that's just kind of how it works. We don't
fitting.
know. We don't know shit. you're asking questions to a bunch of people who play games for a living or do fun stuff for like. This is not an information show. If you want that, go watch. I don't know. Is Relay even an information show anymore? What is there any podcast that's strictly do information? You guys do kind of do information recaps on Fortnightly Frontier, right, Meyer?
Yeah, it's more like an opinion thing, but like, yeah, we talk about the news and kind of stuff, but Dodge doesn't want it to be a news podcast, if you know what I mean. So I can't say that we are one.
We've basically moved from the point of being like a reliable information source to talkback radio.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
So, I kid you not, my neighbor just knocked on my door. They're baking for a family reunion tomorrow. Just knocked on my door and asked if I had salt they could borrow.
They must have overheard the
They
conversation.
must have heard the conversation about salt.
Perfect timing.
Man, you got any salt? I've got days. Hang on, let me introduce my chat.
This podcast.
All right, so the first question of the night is from No Name, because there's no name in here, and asks, could you see Star Citizen becoming a major esport game? It just popped out.
Nope.
No. Star Marine in universe, yes, but not like nothing.
But not MLG, no.
Currently,
Yeah.
I think Star Marine is the closest thing that we'll get. Maybe racing. I'm still pretty sure that racing would be an interesting in-game esport, but both of them would be outside of the actual Star Citizen title and more into the side games like Star Marine or Arena Commander.
I could see Sadaball if we ever get Sadaball, but esports in general are never like designed to be an esport. It's usually
You
a game
can't force
that
it.
gets,
Yeah, you can't.
gains popularity and then becomes an esport.
You can't force esports. You have to let it develop naturally.
They can they lie, but fail a lot of times.
Unless
If we ever
you're
get
Overwatch.
Sadaball.
What was that, Meyer?
I said ixnay on the Adaball say.
Yeah. But you really can't force these kind of things. You got to let it happen naturally because the community's got to like it and it's got to be entertaining and fun to watch. And I don't think anything is there yet. I think it could be, but it's up to like Star Marine has a potential if they add more tactical aspects to it, like slow the combat down a little bit, add more weapons variety, add maybe standardized loadouts for competition, maybe add competition play, like ranked play. And add more equipment and those sorts of things, because even Titanfall had a competitive community, but it never really picked up as an esport.
Yeah, like I was actually going to mention that. It's a good comparison. Titanfall 2 would not make a great esport, for example, attrition or whatever. But Last Titan Standing could have a bit of potential, as long as it's balanced, which they're working on at the moment. Actually, it reminds me of that.
Balance, well.
Yeah, it reminds me of that show. I can't remember the name of it. They did like a little segment on esports where like a player throws a match, and they used Titanfall as the game. And God, it was really terrible though. The throwing the match was a guy missing an EPG shot at the dropship, so they'd already won, and it hurt to watch. But yeah, it looked kind of cool as like seeing that as an esport. But I don't know if I'd ever see Star Citizen as one.
I have a feeling that, like, of all the different modes and stuff that we have in Star Citizen that could be esport-ish, racing probably is kind of up there because it's quite unique. There aren't very many racing games out there that have that kind of in today's day and age.
There is no spaceship racing game. Period.
Yeah,
Look,
and all the racing games that have been released are very niche, very like Forza and stuff like that.
Project
I feel
Cars,
like
that kind of stuff.
Project Cars,
no market for it.
No, not at all. But I think the whole like sci-fi space thing with like calibrations, Captain, and stuff like that. I think that tied into it, and with the whole fact that it's a much faster thing than say doing 80 laps or something in Forza. I think maybe. Perhaps within our community, with the whole like being able to broadcast events within the game and watch it from like say the Astropub ship, I think that might lend to it for us as citizens in the broader spectrum of things. I don't know, maybe. I personally really like racing. I suck at it, but I've seen people who are super good at it. So I know that there is the potential for, huge skill levels and the things they can do with them. So
they've given us the tools to do it, really. For example, you've got racing, you've got the Reliant, not the Sen, the other one, Mako.
Mako.
No,
Mako.
yeah.
Or the news.
The Reliant Mako.
I gotta remember the Mako
we've got
because it's the best rover in all of time. The Mako.
Yes. Mass Effect. No, it's we've got cinematic tools as well. Well, my God, that was insane. Yeah, we've got cinematic tools. We've got everything to do it ourselves as well. I think.
Do you think they'll ever do? Do you ever think they'll do a longer, bigger, like space-based racetrack and have actual multi-crew racing ships?
I would love that. That is what I want.
Could you imagine?
I mean, here,
your engine
here.
while somebody else.
I'm just gonna say this. I'm just gonna say this.
Yeah.
The racing track in Grimhex still exists.
Yep.
It's just not been released yet. So
Yep.
it's
Yeah.
there. Wait for it to come. I guarantee you.
It's called the Yellow Clutch Rally, I believe.
the Yellow Clutch Rally. And it's
Or even
and it's
some kind
Yeah,
of pit
still
crew.
waiting on that.
Yeah.
Hope it's
You
there
can
by
even have
3.0.
really long space-based racetracks where you actually have other players working as a pit crew or something.
Yeah.
you'll
Where you
need
have to
something
stop
like
halfway, and then
you'll-
they have to replace stuff real quick. And
well, I mean that makes sense. Like there's a especially when the item port 2.0 comes in, you're going to need to swap out your maybe like a regulator or some like cooling system like real quick. Just come in, pop it out, pop a new one back in, and
especially
just
if
go.
you've overclocked it to get that extra like acceleration.
Yeah, illegal
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
overclocked,
Yeah.
really unassured. Yeah, that kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
The
That
main
could be, I
thing.
never thought about that. That could be really cool. Yeah.
The main thing about something becoming an esport is the skill floor has to be low enough to where the game is fun to play
For anybody.
the second you pick it up,
Yeah.
and the
Yeah,
skill ceiling
that's
has
true.
to be high enough to where the good players are so far ahead of the normal players that it makes it a reason to watch the really good ones.
Which is the
Oh, yeah.
reason why
You need tiers then. Yeah.
It's
Is
the-
that
Mhm.
racing games are not fun
to pick up.
to pick up because racing's fucking hard.
Yeah.
Like it's not fun to go into a corner slow enough to take it. Everyone wants to mash on the gas and just fucking make it. And that's what makes racing games not terribly viable for an esport.
Yeah.
I honestly cannot wait. I mean, like, not that I cannot wait, but I honestly hope that this whole notion of multi-crew racing with all these different roles kind of like going in and into like making the race better, even if it's just a co-pilot who's the engineer. I feel like that will add such a new level of depth. I mean, we were talking earlier about what things can you do when you're going from A to B and it takes 10 minutes, 20 minutes to get from one place to another. I think I've spoken about it here before, but the 47 million stretch goal was an engine tuning kit. And and that's meant to be like what is it? It's like a 38-piece omni-tool access that, for your ship. 38 pieces. That's in the stretch goal. 38 things to do on your engine. So hopefully, you never know. You never know what you can, what will come of it.
I think
but
the most vital and important thing for the game is more content with less work. Like that doesn't take anything extra. That's just players could put it together. Just put a couple staff areas around as, like guidelines or set something up. Devs could help out with setting up markers. It's something we can do,
they've mentioned
but it doesn't
that they
take
would
away
really
from any
like.
dev time.
Yeah, they've mentioned that they would really, really like
Game
for citizens
masters.
citizens to make their own racetracks, and whether it's like making our own pylons and stuff. Sure, I mean, like as awesome as that is, I would still hope that Star Citizen would make their own racetracks as well. Like we have Old Vanderbilt, like we're gonna have the Clutch Rally, just because we're not the ones making the game here.
You guys already do all the advertising for the game anyway. Why don't you just make all the game mechanics for it?
They love to mirror real life so much. They may do that where it's you have like your dirt track racers, and then the best of those get asked or get invited to be in like official tournament races or something like that. Yeah. Who knows?
There is another question down here. We'll move on to the other questions. This one was just recently asked, and I wanted to answer it just because it's relevant. Is it possible that someday Board Gamer will join the stream? Board Gamer has been on the stream many times. The reason why he hasn't been on recently is because on Saturdays he's been using as his recoup days, because he works all the time, and so he needs some time to recoup and re-energize. He said he will be on sometime in March before the Bridgerton Con. So
I thought his Saturdays were for his egg farming.
And of
rotate
course,
the
drinking
eggs.
some more beer.
Yeah,
More.
He's playing Rust. What?
Ew.
Ah,
Ew. I had
uh,
respect for him for a while.
Pooping in the Wild Simulator.
No, that's Arc. Arc is press Z to
Arc,
poop.
my
Z to
bad.
poop.
Yeah.
We used to use that as a common a communal thing. Whenever someone had to poop, someone says, "I'm pooping," everyone goes poop, and everyone tries to hit Z to poop. And if everyone poops at the same time, then there's good luck happens. You know, that kind of stuff.
Meyer, fucking jump test.
Jump test. Oh god.
I would have been shot. That took too long. I was like, "What are you talking about?" Oh yeah.
Turns out it means he's hostile.
Yeah.
Jesus
God.
Christ.
How do you do a jump test in 0G? That's one question.
Your legs just
Spin upside down.
Can I?
Spin.
Can I?
It's like
go on a tangent with it?
the friendly shake, the friendly shuffle.
There
Go
is
ahead.
one game mechanic I really, really, really want, and that is the ability to double jump off a landing pad to go into EVA. Not have to go to the edge, but to be able to like hit spacebar, hit it again, and hold it, and like fire your jump jets and go up.
We used to be able to slide, and I think that would have been like a very interesting thing to do, is to jump, slide into, and then like dive into EVA.
Yeah,
now all we
something.
get is face plant.
Yeah.
'Cause I see
They've added more fall damage now as well. You jump off a pad to a lower pad and you break your legs or you
Pretty
bleed
quickly.
out.
Yeah.
That's
Happened
going
to
to be
me
an
like
issue
8
down
times
the
in a
road.
row.
When if you're under
Yeah.
fire and you're on a landing pad, and the only way to get out of the open is to go to the edge to EVA, is going to be a problem. There has to be a way to jump up and disengage from the gravity, or
Yeah, I think
Go in the
maybe
EVA.
more powerful suit thrusters are capable of lifting you for a brief period.
Like
Yeah,
Boba Fett.
tangent.
You know, you
Yeah,
trade off armor.
fly
for
across the
jetpack
Sarlacc
or
pit.
something.
What would be more interesting is if those EVA pads, those external pads, had much less
Pull.
gravity. Yeah. So like when you get out, you just kind of it's like more like Mars gravity rather than like Earth gravity. So you like you hop.
Yeah, it makes sense too.
As you get
It'd be
there.
easy to do everything.
Yeah, and it's still in space. So if you hop, then you can activate your thrusters and you just and you get out. You break the gravity pretty easily. But you know, it shouldn't be something that's crazy. Crazy.
we need
high
we need
that
to
you-
riot. We absolutely need to riot. CIG broke the game. All right,
How'd they break the game?
they've gone too far this time. So you used to be able to do an emote such as dance and fire your rifle while you're doing it.
They turned it
They
off.
patched it.
They patched
Can't
it.
do it
Can't
anymore.
do that anymore.
Nope.
You can't do the dance thing. You got a devastator in one hand. You just shoot your friend by accident while you're doing it.
You can't do
That's
it. I
my
know.
favorite. The Astro Pub
Yeah.
memory of all time is
He taught it to me. Terrellian taught it
Yeah,
to me.
you
Yeah.
do the salute thing with the pistol.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was so fun.
this is not a bug. This is a feature.
This should be a
fuck you,
feature.
CIG.
Yeah,
You're taking away
I'm
our
upset.
features.
Yeah. Fucking.
Or when you
futurism.
reload while you're doing it and your arm just unhinges and demonic just movements. Yeah, we need it back ASAP.
I love the bug when you're shooting and you die and then your gun falls on the floor and
It's still
like-
shooting.
Yeah.
It like spins around in circles and shoots.
SWAT 4 did that, where if you died while you had the trigger held down, you didn't let go of it, so your weapon could end up killing. I mean, you kill people in like a shot or two, so you could end up killing a teammate or something if you're, yeah.
It's pretty funny.
So
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
the next question comes from CVH Maverick. He asks: ale, lager, stout, IPA, pilsner, porter, bitter, or other. You must choose.
All
Yes.
of the above.
Yes. You didn't say you had to choose one.
Mood dependent.
Yeah. Look at
I'm the
yourself.
pickiest eater I've ever met. I'm the unpickiest beer drinker in the world.
Is it beer? Good.
Yeah.
The only exception I will have is if it's like absolutely piss down watered shit beer. And even
Like,
then
I'll
I'll
just
still
be
drink
like-
it. I'll just complain about it the entire time.
Man, this beer tastes like shit.
Yeah, exactly. It's like this is terrible beer.
Being in the UK.
Give me a
and,
better beer, you know?
Yeah. Being in the UK and having had all this whole first year university stuff, I was pretty unlucky when it came to all the drinking games. So I'm pretty used to a beverage we call shit bucket, which is basically we have we're playing card games or whatever, and there's like a giant
Yeah, we call
bucket in the
we,
center.
we call it
Slop
we,
bucket.
oh, what do we
Yeah.
call it?
Oh,
We
so
call
it tastes like English breakfast.
it's
Oof.
we have the same game in America,
Quite.
but it's called Circle of Death. It's called Circle of Death.
Right.
Where if you fuck up, you pour some in the middle, and whoever like loses has to drink the
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. We call it Ring of Fire here in that game, and yeah, I've lost that enough times to not really care.
I miss asshole and 3-man, but I'm getting old.
Nubsley asked the next question. I recently spent a little time going over what we have in terms of art and concept for the Crucible, and I feel like it'll be an important ship to have people with many large ships. I also feel like it to be useful for people who want to fly around doing missions in their single-seat fighters. Question 1. How do you feel about the look of the ship? Well, I'll ask this the second question next. So how do you feel about the look of the Crucible?
The Crucible is the repair ship, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh.
I like it.
It looks like a ship hugger.
It
is.
does. It looks like a head crab that had
It's a staple.
like a bottom to it.
It looks like a mobile
like the
space
look of
station,
it.
and I love that about it.
It kind of reminds me of the Bunny Merchantman concepts. Like, I don't know which way it's supposed to fly. Does it fly forwards or does it fly like the other way? And
The
that's the back
actual
end?
answer to that is both.
Yeah.
No, legitimately, the actual answer to that is both.
It's designed to go
Both.
both ways because it has to. It has to be able to align itself properly to repair it. Because the idea is that think of it as a space tow truck and a space or repair garage in one. So it's designed to approach, retrieve damaged ships, and then repair them. And sometimes you're going to have to approach
Kind of
them
linked
from-
together to make like a
They do.
a larger one.
Yeah,
It's like a
train
mobile
engine.
Cryastro, pretty much.
Yeah, did they cover the limits on that, or can you sneak up on the Retribution Super Dreadnought and just take it apart?
I mean,
I removed your
Just like,
structures.
sorry, you have to get another one.
you
I think of it like a train engine.
Yeah.
You know how they're double-ended.
Oh.
Yeah.
They can transfer either way, but they can connect on one end and pull.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just me, but that was much more inappropriate than you probably intended.
that goes both ways. The train.
Which
Run the train on that
begs the
Crucible.
question: can you just fly a reclaimer at an Idris and just win? Nom, 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 nom.
I want grappler
Oh,
ships.
no.
I want grappler
Pac-Man
ships.
and
I want that reclaimer to be able to have
Star
that
or
arm.
Outlaw Star.
I
Yeah,
feel
just grab an Idris and
Let's-
throw it. You know.
It might let people down that I scrapped this concept, but in Combined Arms Part 2, I started animating having the Reclaimer come in and latch onto the side of one of the Idris and take it apart as part of the firefight.
Nice.
Yeah, it would have been cool, but I
Just
didn't
have it
know how to animate.
nom some fighters.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Oh,
Yeah.
it's like flying a fighter into
Ah.
whisper.
I was wondering what would happen if this is another thing I was concepting. If it were to latch onto a reclaimer were to grab onto a ship, and then, although I guess you'd have restrictions on it, but use quantum travel while you're doing that.
Oh my god!
Oh,
The idea was to have it do that, latch on, and basically sacrifice itself to tear the Idris in half because it's only grabbing half of it. Would have been amazing, but
There'll probably be some limitations. You can't do that if it's. I'm sure there'll be some mass. You can't jump unless if there's something in front of you. You can't quantum in something in front of you. So that would be something in front of you
That's
if
a
you're
shame.
grabbing it.
I'd love to just
happens
quantum
if-
travel into stuff.
But
Or
happens
what
if
if the
two
reclaimer
reclaimers are
grabs
fighting?
things from behind and then you just go forward with it grabbing onto your ass?
yeah.
Ooh,
Two
what if
reclaimers
you're in
fighting.
quantum
They
travel while
digest each other.
Yeah, they just slowly. It's like,
Yeah.
oh
So
god.
much
Take
phrasing.
each other
They're a
apart.
Burris look. It's like the snake eating its own tail.
All
What
right.
about a reclaimer taking apart a crucible while it repairs itself? we're getting too deep. Too
It's
deep.
like the infinite snake. It's just eating and rebuilding. and
We've
eating and
become
rebuilding.
this conversation has
We've all
become a
been off.
Ouroboros,
Yep, exactly.
Yep.
So this is the last part of Nubsley's question. How common do you think a crucible will be, and will you own one? I won't own one.
Probably
I think
terribly
it's going to be
uncommon.
essential.
I think you'll see
Yeah.
them pretty common, but it'll be like a Starfarer.
Essential for a fleet.
You won't see them. You won't see Starfarers all the time, but you'll see them enough that you know what they are. Same with Crucibles. You won't see them all the time, but you'll see them every once in a while. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't think
more
many people are
common
going to
than an 890
fly at
jump.
places.
yeah,
I would
More
imagine
common-
they'd be associated with a fleet or a group of ships.
yeah, it'd be more common than like an 890 jump,
Or
but
as a
less-
contractor.
but less common than say like a constellation or like a retaliator.
Yeah.
It's one of those kind of
Like-
midways, because it's like
if
a
you're gonna fly
Genesis.
somewhere, you might take a freelancer or,
I love
or
that
a
band.
matchman or something. But but a crucible would tend to just be where it needs to be. I guess contract work, put out a support beacon, get a crucible to come. That's kind of the deal.
No, but it would be like the Genesis Starliner. The Genesis Starliner is probably
Love
not
that
going to
band.
be super. It's not going to be a super.
Every
common
time you say
ship.
Genesis, every time.
Genesis.
I think that the
love that
Crucible
band.
equates to in MMOs the role of the healer and how just freaking rare healers were. In World of Warcraft, you could be a healer. You could queue up for an instance, and you could get that instantly. And so you could troll people and say, "Actually, no. Maybe actually no." And you'd get people. and you could be a DPS and wait 2 hours for the same
Well,
instance.
you can nickel and dime people.
Yeah.
Sure,
Yeah,
I'll come repair you for a million
Yeah.
UEC.
Well, it's
You
kind
know-
of the implied mechanics on that, right?
Mm.
Like
I
with
feel
mercenaries and healers and shit like that. Like for a fee.
Yeah.
Mm.
What's
I-
again?
My
much
reclaimer is
like-
actually full of Marines.
It'll be a lot like real life when you have you find that local mechanic somebody refers you to that's got a good deal and does good work. It'll be the same.
Johnny over at the block, he can
Yeah, fix exactly.
car
No, exactly.
You want a good deal on that? Some
Spot
crucible
on.
repairs? Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a
this
feeling
guy.
that because of the role of this ship, you'll either see it with people with large organizations where they know that they can be protected. I doubt we'll be seeing very many of these things in the wild with just a single person who owns one of these things, because the fact that they can't repair, not that they cannot repair themselves, but the fact that they can't protect themselves against other things means that they're a sitting duck in terms of most things they want to do, because most things that they need to do are interacting with players and NPCs and fixing their stuff. So I think that they're going to be super rare compared to Starfarers myself.
Unless they're making so much money they can afford to pay for a lot of high-level escort.
That is true. That is true.
High level
You never
escort.
know.
Much
Tell
like
me more
real
about
life.
escort.
Let's tell us more
It's,
about
it's
high level
okay being
escort.
lonely if you can afford those high level escorts.
High-level escort.
So I've been saying this question for a bit, and I think it deserves definitely a read through, because this is quality primo. A troll attempt right here. This is a very quality primo troll attempt. It's by not Paul Shelley, and it's derp derp derp. Why are you shilling for a pay to win game? I don't like that the only way you get anything other than a starter ship is to buy it with real money. Why should I give CIG money? What the fuck do they need money for? I make games every day. I don't need millions of dollars. Give me keys, CIG.
I mean, it's a good one.
It's not bad. He didn't insult anybody. He was trying to be comical, and he was trying to be like a bit of a lampoon, which is I'll give you the golf clap. I'll give you a golf clap for that.
Oh, did I miss a bad question?
You missed the troll question. It was an attempt at a troll
Who's
question.
entering this
It wasn't bad. You're getting better. You guys are getting better.
Why should I
golf
give
clap.
CIG money? Don't.
Don't.
You don't have to.
This isn't
if
a
you don't,
pay to
I will.
continue existing game.
All you need to pay is
If you'd like to
You
participate,
don't even have to do that. You don't
Yeah,
have to-
35
you
if
don't
you're
even
lucky.
have to.
Yeah.
I tell people that on my stream all the time. Even if you have any doubts, there are so many Twitch streamers, there's so many YouTubers, there's so much weekly.
It's
content
also
coming
free to
out of
play right
CIG.
now.
Yeah,
You can get it
watch
for
it and then
free.
play free to play when you want. And if you don't like it, don't pay any money and wait.
Yeah, then
you may
don't
pay more
fuck-
later, but
it's not the newest
Yeah.
fucking Call of Duty for your Xbox One. You don't have to buy it to
I must
hang out with your
say-
friends. Like,
exactly.
It's a game in
must say-
development. That's it.
Go
It's-
jerk off
If
or
you really
something.
want
Yeah.
to spend that money, if you really must, I do have a channel with a button. You can put that money there. I can hold it for you if you want.
exactly.
I won't give it back though. But yeah.
You can
like,
you can
I
pay to
spent way
send
too much
me
money
to,
on this game because I was
yeah.
depressed and it made me feel good for like 5 minutes.
You can buy me a ticket to.
Yeah, it kind of does that. You should purchase that CCU. It's just
Yeah.
rush.
Like, oh my god, my life's so terrible. Maybe this mega exploration
ships.
LTI pack will make me feel better. It didn't.
It made me feel better.
I need a fresh injection of concepts.
Yeah. Oh god.
Like,
Get here,
oh my
concept.
god,
That's the
I get a
ships that
loader
you
Hornet
need.
because all of the ships in this package aren't available yet. Pog champ.
So this was asked by all the BBC. When will the Astropub begin
All the
silvering?
big black cock.
Maybe, I don't know.
Building better
Building better
communities,
communities. Come on.
When will the
Big new
Astropub
cock,
begin serving gridderitas? Is the question.
Oh, thanks,
Gridderitas.
C-Man. When I get salty, apparently the gridderitas come.
The
start pouring.
gridderitas. Do you have a better Twitch TV gritterita emote? You need
Not
to.
yet.
You need
We're
one.
working on it.
You
Yeah.
need it. Next question comes from Hasty Blade. What do you guys think about my creature concept collection for Star Citizen? It's a full.
Do you
like,
want to link it?
I will link
Yeah.
it in chat.
Yay.
I reserve the right to say it's crap and offend you entirely. I won't, but I still reserve the right.
Crab based.
If it's a crab that I can knock on its back and hit its underside for massive damage, then we'll be okay with that. I'm pulling out old memes.
That is actually pretty kick-ass if you mean that
These
yourself.
are
Yes.
amazing.
The one epic
Holy
long leg.
fuck!
Oh my god.
Long leg is the name of it. Yeah, I want to see that so bad.
Who posted these?
Barack Obama.
Why isn't he?
I
Thanks, Obama.
A Hasty Blade.
Cheers, mate.
Yo, what the fuck is this shit?
It's all
Holy
concepts from different
soldiers.
things. It's not by one person.
No, I think these are just made because they're for different things because they're made by
General.
different
Yeah.
That
one's
one
amazing.
with the four arms, like dashing at the guy in the desert. Holy shit, that looks creepy as.
A lot of
I mean,
these
it
are
gets-
really, really good.
I like
Yeah.
I like the giant mutated crawdad that they have in that one.
Yo, how'd they get a picture of my ex-girlfriend in here?
I like the weird egg-headed emu things holding hands. They're kind of neat. That's adorable.
It's pretty cool. I mean, there's a lot you can draw on in terms of science fiction and fantasy, and these are all pretty.
So what was the question again? Which reward, please?
Just
What
what,
if
he asked,
like a-
what do we?
like a
What,
really angry
what do you guys think
message?
about my creature concept collection for Star Citizen?
All right.
I like
Oh,
it.
it's
Great
fucking dope,
inspiration.
dude.
This is a hell of a library for CIG. To
CIG should use these library, these references library,
Yeah,
whatever.
just for inspiration. And nothing
Yeah.
else. I mean, there's some.
I mean,
really
my
good ideas.
favorite kind of sci-fi alien is the stuff that's either like really creepy in its like shape or form, or the stuff that's like so large that it's just kind of you look at it and you just kind of like stop for a minute, like holy shit.
I really
It's
like.
flying between something's legs, or
I like the ones that look cute and cuddly until you get close, and then they look like they're gonna rip your balls off.
Yeah,
Yes,
I like
that too.
I like the
Oh,
cute.
Jessica. She
Oh.
gets around, man.
Yeah,
All right, I got to go use the head, so I'm gonna let you guys answer this next question. But from Kyle
This is a
Block,
mistake.
how do you think CIG RSI will keep profession of explorer alive?
Very carefully with both hands.
The profession of exploration and stuff like that. Did you say?
Yes, exploration.
Well, to start off with,
I'd
there's going to
say-
be jump points that you can chart to unknown star system, so that's one.
I mean,
They
not
have to
all
make
these
them
star systems we
unstable.
can go to are actually found already.
Yeah.
They have to
Yeah.
make jump points unstable.
Yeah, I've kinda
or
wondered about
there's
that. We
no
won't
way
get-
to make money off of it
Yeah.
because someone will find it
we
one
won't get
time.
unknown jump points until
Yeah.
That was
like,
the plan eventually, that we would
Yeah.
be able to discover scan as an entire profession.
So
Scanning
exploration is
for-
actually going to be pretty damn deep, and the stuff that we have right now in the star map is literally just scratching the surface of exploration, because that whole arc star map thing is meant to be, when the game comes out, a live kind of resource, and as we discover things, as jump points appear and disappear, as you report those to NPCs, exactly, those are known. Like we'll actually they'll be live kind of things. With the leak, actually, one of the things that came out with the leak, and I'm sure we can talk about this now. It's been 2 years and it wasn't under NDA or anything, but like
They
with the
changed
leak,
it. They changed
Yeah.
it. They changed it since the leak. Also,
They've
every
changed
time
it, but because-
every time
yeah.
you blame Disco for the leak, he removes
Yeah.
one of your ships.
but like with the
Explain a
leak,
bit.
and so
Shit.
they've changed a lot of things with the leak, but a lot of key concepts I'm sure remain. And one of them is that with the leak, a lot of like information was put. What was in there about the different star systems and their relationships and the sizes of jump points that connected them, and quite a few of those had none of those, and a lot of those systems are not anywhere in the ARC star map. So I'm sure that there are going to be these discoverable star systems. They may not have the same name, might no longer be in the same place, but for sure. Also, I think that in terms of the lore, there are a bunch of things that you can discover. They mentioned like there was this like sleeper colony or something that's in deep space that you have to go and find and stuff like that.
the
So-
Artemis.
The Artemis.
Artemis,
Yeah.
And
Artemis
there's
is
gonna
very
be-
cool.
And there's going to be relics and not relics, but ruins and stuff.
Yeah, there's
Exactly.
the ancient
Yeah.
civilization, which everyone
Yeah.
thinks is going to
relics
be
to
the
discover and
Karathi.
trade. And,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
keep joking about that. It could be the killer, I think.
Yeah,
Cat
yeah,
race.
Well, it's
See,
supposed to be a cat race, and so it's going
It's
to be.
easier for them to create those uninhabited, unexplored planets because they don't need to generate the assets for
Yeah.
you know in your
Yeah, they
system
don't,
to
they don't
get
need
structures and
hero
stuff.
locations.
Yeah,
big
it's
cities.
just
Yeah, I heard
it's
the
just an
Karathi are a
artist
bunch of
having free
pussies.
reign.
Oh.
was
Artists
that?
just go free on it.
They also
Mm.
talked about it a while back with even the discoverable jump points, like you were saying, may collapse over time and then change.
Oh yes,
position.
exactly. Mm.
Well, yeah.
and,
Here,
and they're
here's
going to
the
constantly
easiest way
add
to
more and more systems too.
Mhm.
the easiest way to make
So-
an excuse for that is space is moving.
Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. Yes,
It, like
indeed.
space is constantly expanding, and the distance between one star system and another is constantly growing.
And,
Mhm.
Yeah.
So the wormhole's getting
why-
stretched
why-
as it goes through. Yeah.
Yeah.
In which, like, reality would a jump point maintain the same exact spot
Forever.
Mhm.
Yeah.
and
I
also,
don't know. I'm not a jump point scientist.
if any of you guys grew up playing Wing Commander back in the '90s, one of CR's big things is always that there's always a little bit of mystery in all of his
Mhm.
games. There's always a surprise twist or a undiscovered alien threat or something. So it wouldn't surprise me at
Mhm.
all if there's some stuff going on with the lore, some systems we don't know about that
Big
just like
Benny's
Squadron
Illuminati.
42, they're not going to ever tell us about because they want it to be a
So that's
surprise. So
They've
Big Benny's
also
is the front for the Illuminati.
Big Benny's is actually
Putting
just
it out there,
poison from
putting
the
it out there.
Vanduul.
with
Yep.
exploration. I
Yes.
wanted to add that they've also gone into a hell of a lot of detail into not only the Vanduul language, which I'm sure is going to be prominent in Squadron 42,
Yeah,
but
what
also
the hell?
with the
Like, that
Xi'an
was the
language
coolest
as well. Exactly. And so with that, I'm sure that, and with the Xi'an and the Banu having their own territories in space, I'm sure that with exploration, you're going to have an NPC that can at least learn or retain the information you learn, because I'm sure as many of you here have, tried in like in school to learn Spanish or French, that stuff's hard. I don't remember like 85% of the stuff I've learned. So hopefully, you can get NPCs to help you along that kind of
Me
thing.
hablo
And,
español muy bien.
sí, claro.
How do you want to talk about?
me hablo un poquito.
It's a great question.
No, yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
languages are hard as shit.
Well, here's the other thing is,
still
though-
don't know the language.
Is that
There's also going to be rare resources and things like that.
Most-
Reasons to
Oh, yeah.
motivate you to keep looking.
most of exploration, I think, will actually be down to surveying. Like, think about Star Trek. How many times were they on a fucking survey mission of some random ass part of the galaxy? Like, almost every other episode of the Next Generation was just a fucking survey mission somewhere. So,
Yo, their ship was so OP.
yeah.
What the fuck? The most advanced scientific vessel in the whole fucking history of that entire universe. Also, one of the strongest ships like possible.
And the
Like,
most
I'm-
unreliable.
Yeah.
Unbalanced as fuck.
It also
grew up on
breaks
Star
every
Trek.
5 seconds. Like, their whole...
I also love that anything they come across in Star Trek, it's always somebody's. Well, if we reconfigure the Hoobajoo and
the fucking techno talk,
it'll
man.
cure everything.
The art design team had to be in the background, like, listen, motherfuckers, we didn't make these Jeffrey tube sets for no goddamn reason. Shit.
Fucking crawl. You fucking
You
crawl,
guys-
motherfucker.
Yeah.
Get in there, Jordy.
I don't care what your visor.
What's that? Ved Wesley, come in here.
Oh God, Wesley.
Wesley for president.
Yeah. To be fair,
2020.
to be
Awkward
fair,
Trek.
his post Wesley days have been much better.
Yes.
He's much more.
Wesley was 100% my favorite character in all of Star Trek. You
He's
can
actually-
hate me for it.
He's
You
the
fuck up.
he was the most
first
human.
to transcend fucking the third dimension.
Yeah, the dimensions,
Like, what the
dimensional
fuck?
travel.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was
He
the
was a
Superman
linchpin.
of Star
Yeah.
Trek.
He kind of was a linchpin. He was one of those underappreciated linchpins of the storylines.
He's also the
Does
most
he
human.
lynch him?
Yeah, oh God.
Lynch him? What?
All right, moving on from Star Trek talk. My point about the survey thing is that
My favorite vessel.
most of the actual stuff that's going to happen in Star Citizen for exploration is go to this area, scan the area, map it, bring it back to me. Sometimes you'll encounter shit, sometimes you won't. But because even though Earth and the solar system has had jump points for a while, not all the jump points. There may be other jump points in the solar system, in the Sol system, that exist we don't know about. So they send out survey missions all the time to kind of cover that stuff.
And exploration's not just looking for like undiscovered colonies. I mean, you've got everything from wrecked ships to Vandal outposts to, to the Artemis. I mean, that could be
To resources, yeah.
ages trying to find that.
That
Yeah,
reminds
to
me of,
mining mining stuff. It's there's more
Something
than just
In before, salty motherfuckers like, well, I found this shit. Why can't my exploration ship like fight everything that I found?
Because your exploration ship is made out of fiberglass and sensors, and that's all it is.
It reminds me of another point that I was talking about last night. Actually, was a lot of people often forget that there's a 10-to-1 ratio of NPCs to players. Somebody asked me last night about like if all players aren't heavily into role playing, isn't that going to ruin it? I was like, no, because it's
Fuck no.
it's a 10-to-1 ratio of NPCs to players. So this is a very unique situation where really most MMOs, it's the players influencing the game and the NPCs, and this is a very 180. It's the NPCs influencing the economy and everything, the lore, everything's going on, and we're affected by that. But the same with exploration is that just because there's exploration doesn't mean it's just like go here, find that. You may go there, and then there's NPC explorers that are there, and then it becomes a matter of, do I work with those NPC explorers, or do I take them out so I can claim the
And, and there is literally
a whole nother layer.
That's how the first contact with the Banu actually happened. Was a wildcat explorer thought that some jackass was cutting in on his exploration, so he took a pot shot at him. Turns out it was a Banu, not another human, and that's
a whole other layer
Civil
to
War.
exploration.
If you're a game dev and your goal is to have gameplay that is super immersive, and you're depending on the people who play it to provide that immersion gameplay,
you're gonna have a bad time.
Gonna make any
turn
money.
around, reevaluate.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's another thing that's brilliant about CIG and how they're going about this. And
and thanks to
AI
Subsumption.
and-
Flying
thanks to
through space in 2970 million. Trump 2018, like that's not gonna make you feel any better about playing a game.
It's not the players
Like,
making this universe. It's the universe that we get to join into and get affected by it.
And the best part, if
very
anyone's
different.
breaking your immersion, NPCs are going to look at them like they are a dickhead. Yeah. That's it. Everyone can just stare at them awkwardly, like, oh, it's this dick.
I think it's important to note that even though with the 10-to-1 ratio of NPCs being around the place, so a lot of games, it's the other way around. Players rule the world, and players crash markets and kind of make the game their own, and for better or for worse. It's still important to note
who runs the world, girls.
Thank you, Beyonce.
Wow. But it's still important to know, I feel, that even though the NPCs will still be governing most things, that things will still be fluid. And they've mentioned before that cities and stuff that are suffering on the hard economic times will reflect that in the way the atmosphere looks and the way the citizens are dressed. And I guess they can still, have like us kind of help to sway that. There could be like, event missions, for instance, which require players who are not just citizens, but like, we're really like, in game, we're rich guys with like, we're all captains in our own right. So I'm sure that they'll be, recruiting people for those missions, and, depending on how we react to those missions, that will affect the course of the gameplay.
But they also describe some of the generated missions that will come of things like that economic downturn. So you may have like a shop owner closes a shop, and that creates a job to, he's looking to hire a transport. But if no players take that job, an NPC will come in and take that job, and then create more opportunities for bounty hunting or interdicting. So it all works biotically in a really cool way.
Right.
And CDOS has been broken.
What happened?
fucking Parasol, man.
Listening intently with a patch on his face.
Dread alcoholic Parasol.
The Dread Pirate 42.
Ounces. Dread Pirate 42 ounces.
Oh my god. That's great.
That's what happens when you get shot in the eye 42 times, and then you get that procedurally the robotic eye implant. And it's just a 42 patch.
But they'll tell you're getting it in weeks, not months, and it'll be 3 years later.
3 years later.
We're doing it soon. Oh shit.
Yep. Then it'll be buggy. And
All right, so Lord Emperor Pengu asks, since you're pretending to be CIG devs, can you pretend to give me a 890 jump? Congratulations, Lord Emperor Pengu! You are now the proud owner of D's Nuts, which is actually our 890 jump. You know,
Got him.
so enjoy D's
Breathe
Nuts.
it in, smell that,
Please.
that fresh new 890 jump.
Yeah,
Smell.
just
Mostly of used condoms.
you will have to lick D's Nuts in order to claim it, but you know that's okay.
I'm sure you can tell by the beard, but we haven't washed these nuts in a while.
It's got a musky odor. That mold.
Smells like Cheetos.
Damn. Anyways, moving on from that.
That foul odor of like just nothing but Mountain Dew and Doritos.
Oh god.
What do you do with your nuts, Farah? What do you
But
do with your
luckily,
nuts?
you can get a lot of bonuses and Call of
I
Duty
added
and the
fake
codes
cheese,
from
okay?
them.
Boners. Be right back. I gotta run back.
So,
Was that more scotch? Right here.
next question comes from PJ Salt. How much is a salt valued in game per pound in UEC? Let's do some calculations here. How much is your what's the basic like cheapest thing you can purchase in the universe right now?
Probably,
the pistol?
Minigun ammo.
probably
Yeah.
Oh, the
more
ammo.
expensive than you'd like it to
Ammunition.
be, but cheap enough to where your viewers love
All right, let's see. Ammunition is like 150 UEC, right? I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Let's look at your typical ammo cost right now. I'm doing some science right now. Okay.
Wouldn't that just be math?
Shut up.
Math is the purest
Math.
form of science.
All right. So
Math in space is science by default.
Sorry, what was the question again? Like
the question is, what would salt be by the pound in UEC?
right.
How much is a saber worth in UEC? Because it's just exactly that.
All right.
Eat that thing.
I'm
Pound for
looking.
pound?
I'm looking
Oh my
at.
god!
Yeah.
I'm
You give
looking
me
at.
2.5 flashbacks from fucking Arena Commander.
I'm looking at the firearm blog in 2015 that talks about the ammo prices from last year or from 2 years ago, and it said the average cost per round or for 500 rounds, and I think that's how much we have for when we buy that. Like you get about 500 rounds, something close to that. Of
For like a tarantula.
no, for the for your rifle. Your rifle you get because you get 30 rounds in the chamber and then five magazines. So that's 200 something rounds.
Yep.
It says 500 rounds of what kind of ammo is it? Anyways, is it 5.56? No,
Which gun?
for the assault rifle.
That's
5.56.
6mm caseless.
6mm case.
Oh, is
What
it?
does that even mean?
What did I miss?
So caseless means it doesn't actually have a jacket around it. So you look at a current, most bullets nowadays, they have
So-
a brass casing around it.
So the
It does-
projectile is shot because of the gun using the energy, not
Correct.
the round?
More like a
Correct.
railgun, kind of. Than
More like a
Okay.
railgun, yeah.
ballistic? Yeah.
Yeah, it's more like a railgun.
It's still ballistic in some way, but it is actually it's a caseless ammunition.
All right, so I'm looking at
That's
the
cool as
average
fuck.
price for about the same amount of 7.62. Let's just use 7.62 as an example because that's probably standard rifle ammunition right now.
It's what, like 30 or 50 cents around?
Yeah, so the average for about 500 for 500 rounds is about $130. So if we look at that and say that the average price of it's about the same price. UEC 150 UEC for the same price about. So what's the average salt price right now? Average price of salt. I'm doing this right now, all right?
This is much more detailed than they probably expected.
That's why I'm doing it.
$10 an ounce plus a Derek Smart.
All right.
I don't know how much. Does
Yeah,
Derek
just look
weigh?
up his net worth.
All right, I'm
Look up his
looking
net worth and call it a day.
I'm looking at the 1 pound bag of like a kosher salt. I'm
It has to
thinking,
be like $1.80.
so I'm guessing it's probably about 2 credits. So it's 2 credits, 2 UEC per pound of salt in the universe.
That is official CIG response.
Official. You can go to the forums to do that. I did the fucking math, all right?
You did the math on that, man.
That's some high fidelity math right there.
I did the research and the math.
Chris would be proud.
No, he'd be pissed that it didn't take you 2 months to do it.
Oh, damn,
God.
we should have opened with that. Like, all right, we know the cost of salt, but we'll get you an update on when we're going to release the details of
Real
the cost
fucking
in a week or two.
soonish.
Sooner
Really
than you.
soon.
What is it? What is it?
Yeah.
Sooner, later than you
Sooner
like,
than you'd expect.
but sooner than you expect. Oh God, love that. Gotta love that.
Weeks, not months.
Yeah.
Hello, weeks or months are made out of weeks. In single dollar bills, not tens. Well,
So-
not really making much of a differentiation there, are you?
JSK asks, when do you all think the hanger module will be linked to the universe?
Never.
Why isn't
Soonish.
not? I
Well-
don't get
well,
why
no.
it isn't yet.
The reason why isn't is because of the
Because it's two different things.
the mega map.
I would say that now that we have Mega Map, or once we get multiplayer Mega Map, then that's going to be a much more feasible thing because they've already deactivated the elevator, possibly because they're working on switching that to multiplayer Mega Map elevator or whatever. And it takes on my SSD 5 to 6 seconds to load between being in the middle of space doing Battle Royale to being in my hangar. So once we get that, I feel like it's going to be much more feasible. If you're planet side, you just go into a lift, press a button, you hear a sound, and you're in your elevator. Whether or not you can take your friends to your thing, I don't know, not yet, but I don't know.
No, I mean,
I'm gonna stick with never because why does it make any sense that you can have 7 different types of hangars in Olisar and
Well, not an
Microtech
Olisar. You wouldn't have.
and-
it'd be on the ground. It'd be on the
It
ground.
would be. It would have to be planet side for
Yeah.
the smaller ships. I know that
For me, it's just a model
yeah.
viewer. That's all it is. Like you go in there
Yeah.
looking pretty shit.
Well,
Which-
eventually, that's where we'll have storage for all of our goods. And
Mm.
are they? Well, they haven't even talked about it in a long time. But whatever happened to like we were gonna have room systems with?
Item 2.0.
Mhm.
I don't think I know.
Uh,
Container, streaming container.
Yeah.
I feel like the best
So
way
many
to do
names.
it would be to have, instead of like a door at the front, to have like the center of your hangar is an elevator that kind of
Yep.
pops you up into sort of another
Exactly.
elevator, and then that is an opening to the world.
And
Elevator
you can,
2.0.
you
Have
can
any of
call.
you
Yeah,
guys
maybe
played-
have like a certain number, and one
Yeah.
player can come out at a time.
So you,
Have
or you
any of
can
you
you
guys
can
ever
call an
tested-
elevator, or you can call an elevator to the actual surface, and then you have to go up to the actual landing pad because that way
Well, it's-
it would work
yeah.
with
the
everything.
instances within instances. Have any of you guys ever played Black Desert Online?
Yeah.
Nope.
Yes.
I envision them doing it much like their housing system in Black Desert, where you have several
Oh, okay, yeah.
instances within a house that has multiple doors, and each one of those doors has dozens of instances within it. And the only time it matters, if you're inside your house, you can look out the windows and see the MMO and other players going about their business.
It's not like RuneScape
But
stepping
it
through a
only
portal.
changes the instance depending on who opens the door. So you can have
Right.
30 different people in that same room, but they're all looking out from within their own, we'll call it hangar or house. But when they look out the windows, they can see the real MMO live going on.
Mm.
And it's the
The only
same
problem-
same concept, basically. You, so
Yeah,
you have
the
like
problem
6
with that
hangar
is
doors, but
In in
instances per
BDO,
door. Yeah.
you can just disable clipping. I mean, like you open the door and you just walk in, walk out through the other players. But with ships, I mean, for example, if you're flying
Well, with
an
ships,
Idris
yeah. I
out
was
of,
thinking
or,
hangars.
maybe not an Idris, but like a
Yeah.
Starfarer out of a hangar,
Mhm.
Well, much like
Has to
everything
be-
Star Citizen does, it's. I feel like it'll be that tech, but
Similar.
yeah,
the next
that sort of
level.
deal.
yeah.
Mm. I'd like to see it
makes
sooner
sense,
rather
yeah.
than later. I
In
don't
weeks
mind
rather
Olisar,
than
but it feels less personal. Like it's not your ship. Like it's just an ordered on demand
Yeah.
ship.
Yeah.
Sean
in Olisar,
Tracy
the
said something about it recently, actually.
yeah.
What it was the Mega Mac multiplayer. Actually, he said was what will enable eventually.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. Is that it's that
Yeah.
Mega Map multiplayer is how we're going to be able to fly out into the universe. But I think we also need to
Yeah.
have hangars located somewhere other than Olisar.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah.
So like,
It doesn't feel like your ship unless you're Dragon Diablos. Who stole my fucking warden?
who the fuck stole my warden? You know.
I'd like to point out that man looks like Kane from Brotherhood of Nod.
Yeah, he does. He does. He's also pretty tall for
A scary
Right, but-
fucking dude.
I've seen taller.
Would
No, seriously,
not
I meant the
talk
guy
shit to him
yesterday.
unless I had half a world in between us.
Oh, I talk shit to him
Yeah,
all the
you-
time, and I only have like a couple hours between us. So
Dragon Diablos is in Australia. You
I
don't
know.
have a couple
Yeah,
of-
hey. What?
what
You have 23.
is it 23 hours to get to the West Coast?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Days are
Yeah,
made
it's
out of
not-
hours.
Paul just hops
Kinda
into the
on the-
Astrobub Learjet. It's all
jeez,
good.
me.
Well, I thought there were
Eyes of the
direct
world.
flights from like SF to like Sydney, and I thought there were only like a couple of hours. But
Oh hell no!
No way.
That's-
It took me
Like
a whole day
12.
to fly over to Europe.
It's
Okay.
quicker from San Francisco to Japan than it is from San Francisco to Australia.
Gotta
okay,
go with the,
then
jet streams.
today I learned. You know,
That's like
Unless
when
you
I
want
went
to
to
fly the other
Italy
way, I
years
guess,
ago. It
over
was like,
Antarctica and all that.
yeah. I flew to Italy years ago from the East Coast in the U.S. because of the jet streams. It was something, I forget what it was. It was like a 10-hour flight to Italy, but it was like a 16-hour flight back because you're fighting the jet streams.
Huh.
Start random.
that's the same thing. It's
Crazy
like
Australian thing. Yeah.
it's easier for me to go from west,
And you have to
east
fly
than it is from
upside
east
down
west.
the whole way.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you flush the toilet,
Makes
then
it
it's a
real
whole nother
fucking
can of worms.
hard.
All right. Last
Fine, I'll flip myself again.
two more questions left. This is again blank. How do you guys think boarding will work in Star Citizen? Star Citizen mention any methods for boarding ship because it would play a major role in pirating, breaching charges,
I know.
etc.
I think they're looking for the same sort of method that we use currently, which is that you board like the first couple of rows and the back couple of rows first, and then after that you board the middle rows, just so that everyone can store their luggage properly.
I don't understand upside down English. You're gonna have to translate for
With
me.
those words?
Turn your filter back on, Travis. You're gonna turn your Australian filter back on. It's broken again.
Damn it! Really?
Uh-huh.
Constantly broken.
I followed that fine.
Never.
Now, I don't think they've really talked much about it since they said basically they're not going to do the breaching abilities anymore. They've kind of changed.
They
Changing,
kind of hinted at you might be able to breach in certain places
like certain locations.
to the
The way
point
they
in which
built the
that you'd
ships,
have
they'd
to
have to
know
change it
by
quite a bit.
ship where you
the weak
could and could
points.
not breach. Yeah.
Boarding mechanics are kind of weird in Star Citizen, to be honest, because they don't really work like conventional ships for the most part. Like you see in other in other sci-fi, for instance, like in Star Trek, you have the bridge within the center and it's completely protected. In in Elite Dangerous, at least those ships have like docking collars and stuff like that, and not all those other things. Like in Star Citizen, our ships are more like airplanes in space, and so they're it'd be really super awkward for most ships, like the Saber, for instance,
Brick
to dock to anything
airplanes
else.
in space.
Yeah,
It goes into that the gameplay mechanic of that. So many people are used to now, having had Arena Commander for so long, and the PU that we have right now, of basically shoot and destroy. But the MMO itself,
Yeah.
when that goes live and we have all our mechanics, is really going to be much more about disabling and not blowing
Yeah.
up. At least with dogfighters, probably more akin to blowing up, and anything
Yeah.
beyond a dogfighter,
Something like Rainbow
cruise ship, it's
Six
gonna be much
Siege could
more
do the
about
trick. Like you can deploy
disabling.
charges on certain spots.
Yeah.
and if you saw the around the verse last week where they actually disabled a dragonfly, I have a feeling that that's kind of what we have to expect with all the other ships. I mean, to a degree, we had that already. But when they were shooting the dragonfly, once that first pylon came off, that thing is a write-off. But you still managed to shoot off 4 other things before then destroying it from the front. In terms of boarding mechanics, I'm guessing you go out the back ramp and you go into their ramp, or like you set a charge in a weak point, like Gridspitter said. I mean, like it's gonna be, I don't know.
Talked about that.
Yeah. I mean, there are ships like the Vandal ones that shoot big ass needles that you can then walk through, but I don't know about other ships.
And also,
My-
they've talked about in the past about having hacking missiles for data spike, spiking a ship
Oh,
with
yeah.
a hacking missile,
Yeah.
and you could disable the ship without doing any damage.
For like
by
the Herald?
subsystems. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
oh, they're
pretty-
delivering some info. I'm gonna shoot this
Yeah.
fuck you in the ass missile.
You might be taking it too far, but kind of like having an AI sort of warning, like kind of a UEE protocol, like be warned, you're putting the ship in a critical state, like further sustained fire will destroy the target.
Well, the
Like,
way
yeah,
they
that'd be
back
nice.
off. Yeah,
And-
like an
and-
alert for you're going to become a serious criminal.
Well,
depending on how good you
Watch
are.
out for those
and
crying
how well-
people.
Paul, who
Kind
is
people.
that streamer that we boarded their Connie?
oh, it was. You mean fucking? What's his name?
right? Like I'm blanking.
I
super
know him.
hard.
Fucking what's his name?
No, he's
great. It was
all
great.
right. So
I love that
no,
guy.
it wasn't great. It
Anyway.
wasn't great. It wasn't great. Meyer, the really Commander Shepard.
Commander Shepard.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, the man
best
who,
voice.
Yeah.
who we boarded his ship, killed his crew, and stole his
His stream title was "Come fight me on these missions." So like, challenge fucking accepted.
me and Diablos and I think it was you and like Jeff Craig were just like, fuck it, fine. So we flew in on Hornets, wrecked everyone around them, and they left their fucking Connie not moving in the center of like this ICC mission. So me and Cedars were just like, cool. We EVA'd out into their ship and killed everybody inside. But then I realized it's Commander Shepard, and I've met him now, and I'm like, oh my god, this man would crush me. It was a week after that was the
Giant.
it was a week after that was the first Florida Bar Citizen, where we saw pictures of him next to Sophie Girl, and he was like 7 feet tall, and I'm like, oh my god, I just stole that man's Connie. I feel like I'm gonna see him at CitizenCon. He will ruin me. He will like crush
The
me into a
North
goddamn
remembers.
thing. Yeah.
I'm a tall guy, and he scares the shit out of me.
No one's scared of
Not
me.
that much taller.
No one is scared of me.
Well, yeah, it's hard to be scared of someone who's upside down.
You're 23 hours away.
I keep wanting to like pour my drink down into your mouth.
Oh man, I see what everyone means now. Oh, I thought Scotch was gonna smell.
Yes.
Alrighty, so the last question we have is from Scuba Steve. He asks, "What's it like for Grit Splitter to have it all figured out?" Grit Spitter, sorry.
Oh God, what? Sorry, I tuned. I was looking at chat. What was that?
He asks, "What is it like for Grit Spitter to have it all figured out?"
No, it's a blessing and a curse.
Flies like a wind. He's like a leaf on the wind.
I'm like leaving the wind.
Dead.
You need,
Ah,
I was
our
gonna say,
land is a fertile land.
Too soon. Too soon.
oh god,
First you're sudden,
I'm
you
like a
double
leaf on the
betrayal.
wind.
yeah. How do here's a joke. How do Reavers clean their spears?
Oh, don't.
Come
They
on,
wash
man.
They run them through the wash.
Run through the
Oh,
Dude.
nice.
I've never heard that one, and I was
That is
offended
perfect.
before.
Poor Ellen Tudje.
Anyways, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Thank you to everyone here for showing
Yeah,
up.
good fun.
Follow all of them.
Great
Their
Gosh,
YouTubes,
we're all
their,
terrible.
Their Twitch, all that kind of stuff.
I qualify as terrible.
Terriblist. Oh god, that's horrible.
Boo.
Boo.
I've tainted my soul. What have I done?
So yeah, we do this live every Saturday at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. GMT. So if you guys want to catch it, if you guys are watching this on YouTube, and those of you guys who are watching here, you can hit that follow button, and you'll be able to see it live. And of course, follow all these wonderful people, watch them live, or watch their video contents. Tara, I believe you have part 2 coming out soon.
Yes, soon, TM.
Soon, TM.
Closing in.
And
bated
have a
breath.
trailer
I can't wait for that shit.
Follow my-
Yeah, it's gonna be lit.
Yeah, follow Meyer. Follow Meyer. Follow Meyer.
Don't fucking follow him.
Oh no, he's
Stock Cedizal.
Subscribe to him, guys.
Patreon.
If you play Star Citizen, we know you have money.
Jesus. But
Motherfuckers.
speaking about subscribing, I'm actually doing a subathon tomorrow, so I'll be seeing you guys early tomorrow at about 10 a.m. is when I'm gonna go get started.
Oh, wow.
And for every sub I add, a new sub I add 15 minutes. For every resub I add 10 minutes to the clock.
Speaking of new subs,
So, oh Jesus, that's 2 months in a row. Thank you so much for that. Now I'm going to end the stream. We're going to end it here tonight. But thank you guys again, all for hanging out. Like I say every night, hope to see you guys again soon. But if I don't, hope to see you someday in the black. Have a good night, guys, and
catch
stay
you later.
safe.
fucking banana.
See you in the verse.
See you in the verse. I hate that. I've always
the
hated
verse.
that.
Meyer, was that a banana in your?
Around